Hello everyone and welcome to another live stream from Hugo's desk. I hope you're all doing well today. Do please let me know if the sound is okay or not. I'm always unsure if the level is like good or not. It's always a bit of a mystery how the internet works. So yeah, welcome everyone. We are as usual for about a month now, I think. I think more than a month probably. We've been streaming simultaneously on YouTube and on Twitch. So hello to everyone on YouTube and hello to everyone on Twitch as well. Of course, as always, the reason I do this simultaneous transmission is really to see if it works. I'm just planning to kind of broaden as much as I can. Make the volume 2 times higher, please. Okay. you want the volume to be 2 times higher? Are you sure? It's already pretty maxed out on my side. Some people said the volume is okay, so maybe just put your volume higher, I guess. It's really low. Okay. Are you sure? Like it is low? Because I think it's at least on my gauges here, it's quite high. So maybe I'll try to put it a bit higher. What about now? Is it better now? Maybe it's better now. Like maybe it's a bit. Maybe now it's too high for everyone else. Um, uh, okay, so as I was saying, sorry, I lost my train of thought. So we're doing live on Twitch and on YouTube, and from next week, I'm gonna experiment something even further. I'm going to try to stream to like LinkedIn as well at the same time. So now I've noticed that you can stream to LinkedIn, and so I'm gonna give that a go and see how that works out because I have such a such a better following there. So I have like 35,000 people following me on LinkedIn. So maybe that would be a good idea. People are still saying the sound is low. So I'm gonna just the sound is okay. Okay. A bit worried if people telling me that the sound is low. I'm gonna see if did I do something here? Master mine. Okay, let me just see if. Hopefully I didn't do anything wrong. What about now? Is it better now? Like, is the sound better? Okay, is it a bit better? Sounds good to me. Okay, people are not saying that it's good. Obviously, sometimes I talk lower, so keep that in mind. If I'm like talking a bit lower sometimes, and sometimes I'm talking higher, so that's probably why. I would say. Sounds fantastic here. That's good. Anyway, let's stop about talking about the sound. Well, anyway, thank you so much for last week as well. It was really wonderful to have the stream last week with the Nuke Construction. It was really great to talk to you all about AI as well, and to have this really nice chat at the end about how sometimes it's difficult to do streams and everything. So that was really great, and thank you so much for all the kindness and support that everyone gave me during the stream and also after. I got some lovely messages after that as well. So it is difficult to do streams, so I'm glad that people understand that that's the case. Now, we'll be back to the constructions next week. So next week on Friday, we're going to go back. And I have talked with Bjorn, which was the compositor of the cleanup and the roto. And hopefully he's going to join me on the stream. And he's going to explain all the stuff he did over on the stream. So that's my goal. He's going to come over. We're going to chat, and then we're going to move on to the other stream. So next Friday, expect that, to have a disconstruction with a guest. I'll have one of my compositors with me as well, and we're going to talk through the several stages of that script as well, which is going to be nice. But, today is all about the BenQ stream. So this is the showreel reviews. We're going to review 2 showreels today. So as well as always, I always want to thank BenQ for the amazing support they give year in year out. They've been supporting this channel for many years. Of course, you can always take what I say about BenQ with a grain of salt. As you know, I have a lot of BenQ monitors, and I have a relationship with them. I'm an ambassador for BenQ, but I do really like their monitors legitimately. I work professionally, and I didn't need to use their monitors. I could use any other monitor, and I legitimately use their monitors. I like the quality of the monitors they produce, and so of course you can take that as a grain of salt. Of course, you don't need to believe me, but I just wanted to let everyone know that I really truly use their monitors, and it's great to have their support for the channel. Anyway, with that in mind, I just wanted to have a word from our sponsors. So BenQ is the sponsor of this stream, so I'm gonna just run their commercial. It's only 1 minute long. and I'll be right back. So again, thank you so much, BenQ, and thank you so much to Vincent and Rita for the amazing support they give me month after month after month on these streams. I couldn't really do these streams without them, so thank you so much for that, BenQ. So I'm going to run their commercial for just a minute, and I'll be right back. Okay, again, thank you so much, BenQ, for supporting. Before we jump into the show reels, and of course I do have to apologize to the people that are waiting for the show reels. I'll be with them in a minute. And again, thank you so much for the kind words, Oscar. He says, Oscar says, I look more healthy. Looks like you lost some weight. I doubt that I lost some weight. Maybe it's because I have a black shirt, but I haven't lost some weight. But thank you so much for saying that. I'm glad that you think I look sharp and I look more healthy. I'm glad that that's coming through. I am feeling well today, so of course. Before I even jump into this thing, I just wanted to mention a couple of things, just so that people know. The World VFX Day is really going really quickly now, and it's not far off until we do it. So we'll be live. I'll put it on the screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So I don't know if you remember, but last year we did an 11.5-hour stream on my channel. So the World VFX Day is back again this year. This time it's going to be on the 6th of December and the 8th of December. There'll be 2 days. The 6th will be a Friday, which will be on my channel. And then also at the end we'll go to the World VFX Day channel on YouTube as well. And then on the 8th it will be only on the World VFX Day channel. So this is going to expect like about 11 hours again. We're going to be having talks. We're going to be having guests. We're going to be live from Japan. I'll be in Japan while SIGGRAPH Asia is happening there. And so expect a lot of guests from Japanese companies. We're gonna have a lot of special guests, really high-end guests on the show, which is gonna be great, from the visual effects industry in Japan. And I'll be there with Ian. I'll be there with Haley, and we're gonna be doing the streams for 11.5 hours. And I just wanted to also ask you for a favor, if you could. That would mean a lot to me if you could support the World VFX Day channel as well, because they do need some support in terms of getting some sponsors and also getting some more subscribers. I just wanted to mention to you that we're going to be live on my channel like last year, but we're also going to be live on their channel. So I just wanted to maybe ask you for a favor, if you wouldn't mind, if you could subscribe to that channel. It would really mean a lot to me and mean a lot to the World VFX Day channel as well. They only have 474 subscribers. They really should cross the 1,000 mark so they can start becoming a bit more appealing to sponsors as well, and also to have a bit more backing from the visual effects industry. So if you be so kind, if you want to, of course, feel free, consider subscribing to their channel. Their channel is going to have the live event as well. And we're going to be streaming from YouTube on my channel first. We're probably going to be about 8 hours live on my channel. And then we're probably going to have the last 4 hours on the World VFX Day channel. So we're going to be jumping from channel to channel. We'll be live on both YouTube, on Twitch, and on LinkedIn as well. And like I said, we're going to have guests, we're going to have talks, we're going to have showreels, we're going to have a lot of debates and Q&As, and just like last year. So 65 days, put it on your calendar. It's on the 6th of December, live from Japan. If you are in Japan, just let me know, because I'm there as well. I'm there for 2 weeks, and come and say hello. You can even, if you want to be there on the event, we have a room and we have some drinks as well, and people are free to come in as well. So because we're gonna have a small party after the show as well on the company. We're gonna be in Megalus, which is a visual effects company in Japan. This is the company. This is the company here. This is the company in Japan we're going to be. It's called Megalus, and they do a lot of amazing work in Japan, and the Japanese visual effects industry. And so that's the office where we're going to be, and there will be like, it's very close to SIGGRAPH Asia as well. It's very close to the event. So yeah, so just let me know if you're there. Anyway, that's one thing I wanted to mention before I forget, because I think I sometimes forget to talk about the World VFX Day, since it's coming across very soon. It's only 2 months to go. And this, I really want to make it even bigger than last year. Last year we had about 12,000 people watching, and I just wanted to break that number out of the water. I want to get to 20,000 or something like that. But yeah, appreciate your support with that. Also, just wanted to give a shout out to my friend Ian Files. He just released the new magazine, Before and Afters. This is an entire issue dedicated to Aliens Romulus. Now, you'll probably be upset because the entire issue is pretty much only about the practical effects. There's some CG at the end as well, but it is a monumental magazine. It's very, very close to my heart, this magazine, and I feel like it has a lot of breakdowns as well, and a lot of CG breakdowns from Before and Afters. And this is the closest thing we're ever going to get to Cinefx, which has been longly missed. And so you can find this on Amazon, on every place in Amazon in the world, both digitally and physically. I really recommend. This is a great magazine. And then with that in mind, I know a lot of people have been asking me, where is the podcast, the VFX Notes podcast? We did a bit of a break. Well, I did a bit of a break, not Ian. I had to do a bit of a break because I was getting a bit overwhelmed by the amount of work that it does to do the podcast. Also, I recently explained to everyone that I lost the sponsors of the podcast, and that was a big blow as well, because of course we needed some support to do the podcast, and so we are still considering. We're going to continue, of course. We're not gonna close down the podcast, not at all. Don't worry. But the VFX Notes podcast is gonna come back stronger than ever, and we're gonna be publishing it soon. The cool thing about, and that's why I was mentioning this magazine, is because the next episode we're recording is going to be about Aliens Romulus. So expect that to come across soon, where I'm going to probably rant the whole episode about the world, about the fact that it doesn't have any VFX. And also the next episode, also we're going to record, Ian is going to join me next week here at the office, and we're going to record 2 episodes. And one is going to be Alien Romulus, and the other one is going to be Fight Club, because Fight Club is going to be the anniversary, 25 years since Fight Club. Do you feel old now? And so we're going to be doing an episode about Fight Club and an episode about Alien Romulus. And hopefully when we come back now, also I'm going to announce that already as well. We're going to come back to the podcast platforms as well. So the podcast is going to return to Apple Podcast and Google Podcast and Spotify Podcast and all those places. I'm going to start publishing it there, because I know a lot of people are missing it there, because currently it's only on YouTube, and if you want to listen to it, you have to use the YouTube audio app, the YouTube Music app. And so I'm going to bring it back as an audio podcast again. I'm going to publish it once a week. We have 75 episodes, so we're going to be doing it for about a year, publishing it. And so expect that to happen soon as well. And hopefully we can get some sponsors and we can get some support to do that podcast, because obviously we love doing it and we do it for the community. But of course, if we can get some extra support, that would be amazing, because of course the Patreon and the YouTube monetization is really not enough to pay everything. But yeah, that's really the announcement. The last announcement I want to just give, I always do this on every episode. I just can't boast enough how good this book is. This is Anna's book, Green Recipes for All. A really great book with vegan and vegetarian recipes. It's 50-something recipes with beautiful photos that I helped Anna with. We both took the photos, and the design, we did it together as well. It was a project of love from a creator, Anna, which is my wife, Anna Marx. She did this book. And just whatever you like, if you could consider buying it, or if you can consider giving it to someone, or if you can consider maybe offer it in Christmas or buy it for yourself. It's really not that expensive. It's for sale on Amazon, both on digitally and also on both paperback. It's also available on hardcover as well. It's a really nice book, and it's, again, like I usually say every week, it's a book made by small creators like us. You know, both Anna is a small creator, I'm a small creator as well. And we are trying to create something that we like, and hopefully people enjoy as well. We've been having some good reviews on Amazon from the book, so people are really enjoying it. We have a huge fan with Victor Perez as well. He loves the book. So it's available on all Amazons. Obviously, I'm only going to put one link because I'm not going to put all the links. I'll put the link on the chat there from Amazon UK. But you can also find it on Amazon. You can also find it on Amazon. Sorry, where should I put this? On Amazon US, Amazon Japan, US Italy. You know, it's on sale on every single Amazon as well. So consider that to support her adventures and also ours adventures as well. And that's pretty much it, really. I've already posted the giveaway. You have a giveaway link on the top of the chat, both on Twitch and also on YouTube as well. We have a giveaway at the end of the stream. The giveaway, as usual, and of course, as I mentioned, that's the QR code for the Amazon shop if you want to consider buying the book. It would mean a lot to me, of course, if you could consider it. And you don't need to be a vegetarian or a vegan to like the book. You just need to like good food. The giveaway is also going to happen later today. The giveaway again is for the Nuke compositing course, my course, which is available right now 50% off. So consider signing up. The link is on the chat, both on Twitch and also on YouTube. I'll do it at the end of the stream after we do the 2 reviews, like usual. And of course, yeah, that's the link. That's the QR code. Just sign up. And if you're already a student, doesn't matter. You can get the other course I have. And if you have both my courses, you can get my 3rd course, which I'm making right now. But yeah, I apologies if I take too long to go through these things, but it's important, of course, to keep the channel alive and to get some support. And so that's why I usually spend a couple of minutes on the beginning of the streams to do this. If you don't really want to listen to any of this, you can always, of course, just wait. You always know that I take at least 10, 15, 20 minutes to do all of this. And you can, of course, then go back to the stream later on, and you can still review and go back. To everyone watching on YouTube, you can go back on the stream. So you don't need to, like, if it has an ad or if it has a break, you can just go back. Speaking of ads, I know that ads are being very annoying on YouTube and on Twitch. Last time, I was reviewing the stream, and last time someone on the chat mentioned that they were really annoyed by the ads, and they were like, "Oh, it's so annoying, the ads." They mentioned, then they said, "I hope, Hugo, you're getting a lot of money from the ads." I just wanted to mention to everyone that I'm actually probably considering removing the ads altogether, because, guys, I do not get a lot of money from the ads at all. In fact, it's ridiculous, the amount of money that I get from the ads. I'm going to show you on my screen how much revenue I got from the last stream I did, the one that people were complaining about the amount of ads. And this is not Photoshop. This is the live feed of my YouTube channel. So people were complaining that there were a lot of ads. As you can see in my last stream, the Disconstruction 10, I had 300 views after the live view. So I had about 800 during the view, and then I had 300 people watching the VOD. I've won a whopping 74 cents for the entire thing. So that is what we're dealing with YouTube. So YouTube, and that's why sometimes I'm a bit like reticent if I should continue or not, because as you can see, people are kind of complaining, oh, you're getting so many ads, I hope you're getting well paid. We're not getting well paid at all. YouTube is really joking with all the creators. 74 cents is like just preposterous. I have streams where I got 5 cents from a stream. So this is not even that much. This is actually a lot. So I know that's true, Vertex. So I think I'm gonna consider just not having the ads at all. I'm not sure if it actually works. Because if I go to monetization here and I switch, this is the monetization of the VOD now. But if I go to the live view of the video that we are now currently doing, which is this one, live, and if I go to the view that we are now currently, if I go to the monetization, this is the stream we're doing right now. And at the moment we have conservative, balance, and aggressive. By default, he puts balance. If I switch this off and I switch the ads completely from this stream, so now the stream we're currently doing live right now will not have ads. I don't know if that will actually happen because I've in the past. So let's experiment this. I've switched off the ads now on YouTube. It's off. So as you can see, it's off. And I've saved the thing now. So okay, so now it's saved. So now the ads are off. And so just let me know, guys, if an ad still comes through. So because I've now switched it off. And so because in the past, I've switched things off and ads still pop up, even when I switch it off. And so for me, like in principle, to get 75 cents for an ad, I don't think it's worth it. And so I'm going to start switching it off completely because this is a joke. Like I have a stream where I got 5 cents. It's just preposterous. The amount of ads that they put in. No, Vertex, it doesn't really work to put an ad blocker because I'm the one streaming, so I can't block my own ads. The only way I can do it is just to switch it off completely here on the stream, which is now what I'm doing. Now on Twitch, it's not that easy. Like on Twitch, the only thing I can do is like to reduce the amount that they come through. So that's not as easy. So if I go here to the ads, I'm going to like, actually, no, that's true. I can actually switch. This is probably new now. I'm just going to switch it off as well. So now I'm going to like, because as you can see here, right now it's every 3 minutes. We can put it every 22 minutes. That's the maximum it allows you, or as low as 30 seconds. And so I'm going to just switch it off as well. And completely not have any ads whatsoever. Is there a save on this thing? No, there's no ad. So, no, I don't think there is. There's no save. Let me just refresh this thing now. Okay, ads not scheduled. That's what it says here. So, if you guys could do me a favor and just keep a tab on this. I've now switched off the ads. It's quite aggressive, by the way, because when you start the stream, he automatically turns on the ads. The ads don't get switched off automatically. So I will have now to do this every time I do a stream. So I just want everyone to tell me if an ad still shows up. I've now switched them off on both streams because the amount of money that I'm getting on Twitch it's the same thing. I'm getting like $1 per stream. So I don't feel like $1 is enough for anything. So I'm not going to like, I've now removed them there as well. So Mikhail, it's off now. There shouldn't be any ads on Twitch. Now, I need to experiment with this. I've now switched them off while we were still live. I need to start really going through and switching it off before we go live. So hopefully it doesn't work. Hopefully. Still ad. Yeah, that's true. Eldenaz says, true is that if you remove an ad, YouTube can still put some ads. That's true, but we'll still see. We'll check. And apologies if I'm making a big thing around this. It's just that I'm getting quite annoyed with YouTube and on Twitch about their aggressive nature of how they're doing these things. It's really become a cesspool of against content creators, and I don't really enjoy that. I think they are not really doing a good job now with supporting content creators. So I've now removed them. And so if you want to support the channel, if you can bear it, just consider, becoming either a subscriber, a member. You can become a subscriber on Twitch, which is free if you have Prime. You just need to link your Prime account, and then you can become a subscriber for free. I get like $2 from that subscription, and you don't pay anything because it's part of your Prime subscription. So if you want to support the channel or my streams or my videos, I will remove the ads now on the live streams because I don't want to have any more annoyingness on that. And then people can either become a member on YouTube, which is $1, or they can become a subscriber on Prime, which is free. And then that supports the channel. Or they can become a Patreon if they want to. I'm on Patreon as well. Or they can buy my course, or they can buy Anna's book. They can support me that way by merch, by buying the book or buying my course or becoming a member or subscriber. And if you can't afford it, that's okay too. I'm not going to stop doing it. But I'm just like trying to make it a bit more usable for everyone watching. Yeah, so the rant is over now, so apologies for that. I'll mark this on my chapters as a rant about YouTube, see how they feel about that. Carpet Studios is saying, how is it using a trackball mouse? Yeah, so this is the mouse that he's referring to. I need to hold the thing, otherwise the ball comes out. You see, as you can see, the ball comes out. So this is a Kangaskhan trackball. I started doing this because, I'm old. I'm 46, and I have a lot of carpal tunnel syndrome. And so the only way I don't have pain on my arm, and this is going to happen to all of you, by the way. So all of you that use a mouse, this will happen to you. So I currently use my Wacom pen, which is much better for my hand, of course, the Wacom. So I use the Wacom for majority of the things I'm doing. But, of course, if you're just watching your email or just browsing the web, a Wacom tablet is not good. So I recommend this. I'm not paid by Kangaskhan at all. Like, they're not sponsoring me, but I just wanted to let you know that this is an amazing mouse. It's really comfortable, especially with this holder here for your hand, and because you can put it like this, So it's my carpal tunnel syndrome on my hand is gone. I don't have pain anymore. Sometimes I have numbness on my hand, but I think that's just because I'm old. So I really recommend. So Carpet, I think it's great. I really recommend everyone. Mikhail, I have also a vertical mouse, and so I love the vertical mouse. It's actually on the shelf. I can't really reach it now, but the vertical mouses are amazing as well. The MX vertical, but after a while, after like a year, I start having carpal tunnel syndrome from that mouse, and so then I swapped to trackpad. So for the last 5 years, I do like a year of the vertical, and then I do a year of this, and then I do a year of the vertical, and I do a year of this, and so I keep swapping them. Whenever I have a bit of pain, I swap to the other one, and then when I have pain on that, I swap to this one, and that's been working for me really well. So I think I recommend you all having a vertical mouse, which is really good, or having a trackpad, a trackball or a trackpad. It can be a trackpad as well. Yeah, so anyway, that's it. Like, I didn't mean to that this became a conversation about trackpads, but that's it. It does feel nice, yes. Okay, so let's start the stream, the showreel reviews. If you are interested, I just wanted to let you all know that we have more showreel reviews coming up, as you all know. And so just put that on the screen. Oh, no, that's the wrong thing. Oh, by the way, that's the course, by the way, I was mentioning. It's 50% off. So if you want, you can always, of course, sign up for that. But this is the wrong thing. What I'm talking about is this one. So we have left through the year. We have these showreel reviews. We have the 3rd, the 31st, the 14th, and the 28th. Unfortunately, they're all fully booked. So, unfortunately, they're all fully booked, which means, because I'm doing 2 people review for stream, I can't do them in December because I'm in Tokyo. I'm in Japan. I promised that on January we start having more. It's just that, unfortunately, I can't really fit in anymore on my schedule. And so maybe I will fit in. There is a break there between the 30th and 31st since I'm not going to the View conference. So maybe I'll do that. But just if you want to sign up, there's no point. Like, it's fully booked now. We had 2 slots last time we spoke, and then they're gone now. And so let me just double check if I'm correct or not. I think it is fully booked. Let's just double check. The next one fully booked, and then the next one is fully booked as well. Just double check. Yeah, it is. So it is. They're all in for. So I might consider putting a third slot if I get overwhelmed by requests. I'll put more slots so that people can do that. Anyway, let's start with the review. GLM Studio, you're really right. He says these companies aren't being helpful compared to how they used to be. Absolutely, they're not really being helpful to small creators at all. I don't feel they are. Javier is asking, good morning, I have a question. Does the course have subtitles in Spanish? No, it does not. I'm sorry, Javier. We do not have subtitle support on our course. The course is always in English. There's no subtitles. I've been considering all of that, but it's quite expensive to do all of those things, and I would have to, even if I use a software to do the subtitles, which maybe it won't even be correct, because it's quite technical mumbo jumbo that we're doing on the course. It would be quite expensive because I would have to render and export all the subtitles for all 150 classes. So that means we would have to have files for 150 classes. They would have to be checked. And then if I have Spanish, then I need to have Italian, then I need to have all of the other ones. So I'm considering doing English, so because a lot of people have asked that, but I'm not planning to do other subtitles for now. I apologize if that's a disappointment, but I'm a one-man show. I'm alone, so I can't really do everything on these things. Unfortunately, it is a one-man production here on you. That's why it's called Hugo's Desk. I don't have anyone else helping me on the course. Okay, so apologies for the show. We're gonna jump into the show reviews. Apologies if someone is waiting for a long time. I do apologize for that. But we're gonna jump into the. Oh, it's not signed in. Of course, it's not signed in. Why would it be signed in, right? It happens to me all the time on Google. Whenever I'm doing the stream, I was signed in just yesterday. But of course, during the stream, that's when he decides to sign me out. Yeah, great. Let me just sign in to the account so that I can actually go in and have a talk with the person. So this would be this one. Okay, so I'm just doing the password here. Of course, I'm not sharing the password on the screen because I don't really want to do that. So if you just give it a second, I will log in and then start doing the first review. Oh, come on, just do it. Come on, just do it. Okay, it's doing it now. Okay, so we have first review is Diego Garcia. Apologies to Julian. So Julian is probably going to have to wait a little bit longer. So and Diogo has been waiting for half an hour, so I am so sorry about that, Diogo. But you know how it is. This is a bit of a a garbage truck on fire. Unfortunately, sometimes it is. I do apologize for that. But you all know that if you're going to watch my stream, this is probably what's going to happen sometimes. So that is it. That's what this stream sometimes is. Again, like I said, I'm a one-man show, so don't expect it to always work because it won't. Okay, so let's call in and see if they are here. Hopefully they are. Just a quick warning to Diogo. I do not have my camera on. I can't have my camera on, so you can't see me on my camera. But let's see if he's here. Can you hear me, Diogo?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so Diogo, I'm so sorry that you had to wait for so long. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
As I was just mentioning to the chat, I can't have my camera on, so you won't see me because I am sharing my camera to both Twitch and YouTube, so I can't share it 3 places at the same time. I hope that's okay. So we can do this on audio, unless you want to do your webcam. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter to me.
Okay.
If it makes a difference, I can do it just fine, but no problem.
Yeah. We'll just share the screen and we'll go through this. So before I even show your showreel, and Diogo, thank you so much for waiting again, like I said, and also thank you so much for submitting your showreel. So tell me a little bit about yourself so we know a little bit about you.
Yeah, so recently I finished my master's. I was living in Porto for like 5 years.
Oh, you're Portuguese.
No. So I'm from Venezuela. My family is from Spain, and I currently live in Brazil, in Rio.
Oh, cool.
But I did my university and everything in Porto. Yeah, I studied in the Catholic over there. It was fun. Even I think Ricardo is a teacher there.
Yeah, that's right. One
So
of the teachers of our course. Yeah, he's there.
yeah,
I think he's still there. I think.
yeah, I heard a lot his name from there. Like this guy that did Ex Machina and won a couple of Oscars.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny to then get in the course and see some classes from them. But yeah, other than that, I finished my studies, ended up here in Brazil, and then trying to get life going. Uh, Really, I have been doing a lot of I did a lot of animation. My master's was in animation, and I did multimedia and audiovisual in Porto. So basically, I just want to start getting into film again. After my studies ended, I wasn't really producing anything, so I'm kind of like on that hustle to try to get something done, to get in a studio or something like that.
Okay, and so you're currently doing. I can see a lot of plates. So by the way, we're watching your. Well, I need to like share my screen as well with you. And I'm gonna share my screen so that you can see my mouse moving around on things, so we can like
Okay.
discuss everything. So I'm gonna just share my screen so that you see my screen, and hopefully you see it soon. So just a second. I'm going to like just share your showreel. So you see my screen, right?
Yeah, I can
And
see
you
it.
probably can
I
see
mean,
my mouse and everything.
you're sharing the Google meeting.
To you, oh yeah. So,
Yeah,
but you're probably seeing now the showreel as well, aren't you? Like I think you are seeing the showreel now. Oh, sorry. Oh,
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Go on.
Sorry. That's wrong.
Yeah.
Why is that? That's weird. I did share this. Just a second. So share. Oh, entire. Okay, that's why. Never mind. My. It's always the user's fault. That's usually the case. So you probably see it now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can
So
see it now.
yeah. So I'll put it on the screen now. So you now see your show. So yeah. So I wanted to just like ask you. So of course by watching your showreel, I can already see that you are one of my students. So thank you so much for being a student, and of course apologies if I couldn't really know from heart. I do have 2,000 students. I don't know all the names by heart, but
Yeah, no worries.
but and so thank you so much for doing that. But okay, so you've mentioned that you're in Brazil right now, and so you have this showreel. Like, what's the objective of this? Like you said, you want to work in film, and so have you sent this showreel out already, or are you still working on it? How finished is this showreel?
So it's kind of like a Frankenstein amalgam of different reels that I'd made. But there is this VFX supervisor I have been talking to,
Yeah.
and from Conspiração Studios.
Okay.
I don't know if you know it. It did a couple of big series over here, and I managed to get his contact. So currently we're like even talking. I visited the studio. Super lovely place. Loved it there. But right now they don't really have much demand.
Mm-hmm.
They are finishing shots and everything, and so basically what they told me was that in a couple of months, a couple of weeks from now, when they start getting shots to begin doing some prep and beginning working on them, they are willing to have me in and even teach me in a way. They said they do a lot of educational stuff. With me, it's a kind of a problem since I don't study anymore. They cannot hire me as an intern, but
I see.
yeah, they're willing to have that and try to give me a couple of shots and see if I can like take the amount of work that they will need
Mm-hmm.
and keep up with their quality. So basically, I'm mostly practicing to hopefully in a couple of weeks or months from now to begin working with them, doing something there.
Okay. Cool. Well, yeah, that I guess that experience is very similar to all the other places. I've noticed that a lot of companies are really pushing back and really not having a lot of work. So that's not surprising to me that they might not have work. That's happening here in London as well. There's a lot of people that don't really have work, and a lot of companies are really kind of waiting to see if things are gonna pop in again, and pop back. So that's not a surprise. In fact, like I've been experiencing that myself. Like I have a lot less work now, and what I do now have, because I have my own company and I do a lot of productions directly to the clients. And what I've been having, my experience lately has been that I get a lot of quotes requested, like for projects. I get like contacted by a company and they ask me for a quote, and then I spend a few days building a quote, and then I send the quote, and I usually get the answer, "Oh, this is too much money. We'll just do it internally. We'll just do it internally with AI." That's usually what I get now, lately, and so it's been a bit bonkers to read that, and to experience that, because obviously I know what's going to happen. They're going to try AI, it's going to fail, and then they're going to get someone to fix it anyway. That's usually what happens, because as much as we see all these tests online, they're not really working really well completely. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's a bit. Again, it's probably a strategy for them to push the money down. They were expecting me to contact them back and say, "Oh, I'll do it for less," but I didn't. I just sticked with my number, and that was it. And so I think
Yeah,
that's
that's
probably a
nice.
strategy to lower it. So I wouldn't be surprised if they don't have any work, because it is quite tough right now for most companies. I wanted to just, before we even talk about your shots, you mentioned that originally from Venezuela. Is that correct? Is that what you said?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Was born there.
So how was work there? Did you actually work there as well? How was it?
I lived 2 years there. I came out as a baby.
Oh, I see,
I
I see,
lived most of my life here in Brazil.
I see, I see, I see.
Uh,
So you don't really,
Basically,
is there an industry at all there?
mm,
I always want to ask this, because I want to
yeah,
know as much as possible as from all the other countries. What's happening
yeah.
in Venezuela in terms of visual effects? Do you
I
know?
really don't know. I think there isn't really much opportunity there, in the sense that there's barely enough infrastructure to, I
Yeah.
think, keep up with it. Most of the people that I know that ended up working in some sort of media, either be motion effects or filmmaking, they all end up just leaving. Most of them, I know this guy that he worked while he lived in Venezuela, but was with clients from abroad. So he did a lot of freelance work, but really there isn't much going on internally there.
I see.
Uh, yeah, it's pretty sad situation what's happening there.
I see. I see. I see. That's that. Yeah. And what about Portugal? Sorry. What about Brazil? How's that going there?
So I think I mean, they're coming up with a lot of opportunities and whatnot, but it's mostly, they look mostly for interns, and it is really directed toward events. So producing and filming more corporate events, or and there's even like global and these big companies like Conspiração is another one. They are actually having quite a bit of demand and producing, but it's all their own productions, their own stuff. So I mean, they have their filming schedule, they have their own studios. Apparently, in Globo and in Conspiração as well, they are working a lot with Unreal Engine,
Mm-hmm.
with the the LED volumes. So I think they try to innovate a lot here, which I like, but especially Globo, they have a very dictatorial, let's say, approach to doing stuff. So you barely have, you do a lot of overtime. You don't really have the times you work is not something that I would say is very healthy. You work a lot during the night,
Yeah.
from what I heard. I heard mostly from people that work in production or really post production. But yeah, and they also reset. You cannot work there for a long time. They're constantly resetting their employees. so they're getting like younger people and people to pay cheaper for. So I guess it's a good place to start because of the name, but
Yeah,
apparently it isn't like the greatest, the greatest place to be at
I
long
see.
term.
And is there that sounds to me like those kind of problems are happening on more and more countries, but is there like any kind of visual effects unions in Brazil, or is there anything like that to try to avoid
So
and try to get that solved?
they have like the worker. Over here it's very strong, the laws for working, and so you have like a lot of benefits
Mm-hmm.
from like even food, and you also get like health insurance. And but but yeah, they follow very strongly the stuff, that kind of things, but they are trying to pivot away from that and try to contract more independent people. You have like this, they call it like May, where you are like a micro entrepreneur, and so they try to hire more people like that, because that way you're out of the laws
Yeah,
for workers.
yeah, yeah,
But in general, bigger companies like Globo and this is other Conspiração as well, they do a lot of, uh, they do it like the more traditional way, where they sign your worker card, and so you're registered as currently working, and because of that they have to uh, give you all those kinds of benefits. So I wouldn't say it's really it's all that bad. It's actually quite nicely, but the issue comes when you try to work with smaller clients, and
yeah,
they're like a bit harder.
yeah. Of course, of course. Well, thank you so much for letting us know that. I'm always very curious to know what's happening outside, because sometimes the visual effects industry becomes quite of a bubble. You know, I work in London, of course, which is one of the hubs, and I love to know what's happening on the other countries, because there's so much work out there, and people sometimes are just fixated with Canada and London and the United
Yeah.
States, and which is always good. I just wanted to like. I'm sorry to interrupt this conversation, but I just have to say this
So,
because on Twitch, Mikhail just offered a bunch of offered 10 subscriptions to people watching. So Mikhail, I can't thank you enough for doing that. Thank you so much for supporting the channel like that. That's amazing. I can't thank you enough to gifting 10 subscriptions like that to my followers and my subscribers. So much appreciated, my friend. You're such a long supporter of the channel, so thank you so much for that. And yes, I removed the ads. Yes, I did from the Twitch stream. So thank you so much, Mikhail, for being so kind on giving so many subscriptions. And I just wanted to like also mention before that we had also a new subscriber just before Mikhail flooded the subscriptions, but we had a new subscriber, which was Pix Shaper as well. So thank you so much for doing that, my friend, for becoming Pix Shaper, for becoming a subscriber on Twitch as well. It's really means a lot to me. Okay, so going back to this, Gabriel. Okay, so this showreel, of course, like you said, it's a work in progress, and so let's go through it and let's just try to disconstruct it a bit and try to like see what it can be improved and what's missing. So your showreel, first of all, I just wanted to like mention, it just says showreel. Are you more aiming for compositing showreel, a CG showreel, a generalist showreel? What's your objective with this showreel? How do you want to come across when you send this showreel over?
yeah, really, when I built this one was to present to the people at that studio.
Yeah.
So I did it really in a rush and didn't really think all that much out. But I'm currently aiming mostly for compositing and
Yeah.
probably been doing more prep work to learn better before I start doing further stuff like matte paintings or even CG.
Mm-hmm.
But really, I have done mostly of what I have done is mostly animation, CG, and simulations to Dini
Yeah.
this past few years. So I'm actually kind of lost on what I should be aiming for.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
although,
let's talk about that. So, right now, when I look at your showreel, if I was an outsider, if I didn't know you from any place, because usually you send this showreel and then people get a first impression. I look at this and I can't. Of course, you would probably send an email and you would probably apply for a specific position, but I think it would be good if you would be decisive of what exactly your showreel is about. So if you're applying for a compositing job, I think you should only have compositing on your showreel, and not have anything else. So if you're applying for compositing, you should not have the Houdini tests, and you should not have the CG stuff that you have there. You could build a showreel just of that, a separate showreel, and have two of them. But just be aware of that, because a lot of times companies, they do not want to have this mixture of things unless you're going to become a generalist. And so if you become a generalist, that's different, of course, because a generalist will be doing CG and compositing at the same time. So that's the thing I want you to like kind of come across there. It becomes a bit lost, and also you start with that, and that's a problem, because then if you start with this, if a recruiter, because sometimes recruiters are the first people watching a showreel, it's not an artist that watches the first time. And if your recruiter starts watching this showreel, they'll just think that you made a mistake and send the wrong showreel or something, because they're gonna just switch it off and not even kind of like, oh, where's the Houdini stuff here? So just be aware of that, and try to like. And I understand this is just to show me, and we're just talking, but just be aware in the future when you do a showreel, just try to like focus on one single thing. Yeah, so going through the things here. So yeah, I suggest that you should put something here. Then after that, let's start with the first test, the Houdini test. So the Houdini test is just an R&D test, I guess. So it looks okay to me. It depends a little bit of what you're trying to achieve. What type of melting, like what type of material is this supposed to be? I would ask you, like, just so I can give you feedback in terms of how it's melting and how you've done the what's the material like? Is this a piece of stone? Is this metal? Like, what is it? Just like
it's like I would say it would be like more like a marble kind of material, like the cube that ends up melting into like a more like a petrol, more viscous.
You said marble. You mean like the stone marble?
Yeah, like a stone, more stony, like old and rough.
Okay, so the first thing I would just tell you is that, of course, marble doesn't melt, and so unless it goes to a volcano. I think maybe you should consider having a different type of material to start with. I think it would be important for you to establish, okay, maybe this is like a liquid metal, so it's shiny and it's like a mercury or something like that, and then it kind of melts, because right now it does have the viscosity and the shape of a mixture between kind of like gelatinous and mercury, and it's a bit lost there, because I think you did a good job with the jam-like texture that you have when it melts. It becomes almost like a gel on the end, and this is nicely achieved, but it is quite weird that it starts with that object. But I think you did a good job. I do think that you have a bit of lack of resolution in terms of your destruction. So when it's starting to melt, like I can kind of feel, and I don't know if this is because this showreel, maybe it's low res, but it kind of feels that your destruction texture is a bit pixelated and not detailed enough. I think it should be a bit more. It should have more quality in terms of the tech. I don't know what you're using to. You're just using a noise mask, a noise fractal mask, or what are you using to destroy it, to make that shape?
It's an infection system. So I try to scatter points around it.
Okay.
I don't really remember. I did it. It was one of my first tests, I guess, earlier this year, I think. But I think I start with a pretty dense mesh of the cube, and then I do an infection system, so it begins to spread from a couple of points.
I see.
It would be, I think, in to make it better, give it a higher resolution mesh for the cube.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah, I think you should just try to get like more absolutely more quality to that, because you see what I mean. Like you see here, you got like this kind of JPEG kind of compression thing going. It kind of looks very low res. But as you mentioned, this is a really old test that you've made. Another reason for maybe not having it on the showreel on the beginning, because it kind of like brings the wrong impression. But apart from that, also I think this is not like really like a lighting test, but it would have been nice if the melted liquid would have maybe a better lighting. Maybe it would be nicer if it would, because it's, you see, by the end of it, it just looks like petrol. Maybe that was the objective, but I think it's well achieved. How you said it was a test? How long ago did you do this? Like, was it a long time ago?
I think it was like the first thing I did this year, like in January.
Okay.
Something like that. I've been using Houdini since I started last year.
Okay, I see. Well done.
So,
well done, because it's yeah. I mean, if you started last year, that's really nice, really good work. So just keep going, keep going and testing. And there's a few people giving you some pointers there on the chat as well. On YouTube chat, because we have two chats going, but on YouTube chat, people are like saying, the SGVFX says try to put only comp shots in the comp showreel. It looks better and it's more understandable. And then Metro Groove says cheese block. May try to do a cheese block, I guess. And then Prasant says use the top networking for the marble stone. And then on Twitch we have Mikhail saying it's more like sci-fi melting. Something like a tar magnetic fluid. I guess that's probably what you're trying to do,
Yeah, I started messing around it, trying to make some like ferro fluids, something like it. Because I'm very into sci-fi.
Yeah.
So I try to mess around with it.
Yeah.
Trying to make different sci-fi-ish things, but at the end of the day, I was mostly trying to learn out the software better. It was mostly I did that to learn how to do flip simulations.
Yeah.
So, the lack of direction I had is actually pretty clear, since I didn't really have much direction to what I was aiming for.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's well made. I think, don't get me wrong, I think it's well made, and I just think that maybe you want to consider having it somewhere else on your showreel, not really in the beginning. Because your showreel also is really big. 3 minutes is too long. So
like I said, it was I had a showreel that was like a minute or something, and I stitched another showreel from like last year to show you. So I could have like some inputs on different
and more
shots.
So this is like this is not a live showreel you have somewhere, I guess.
No, I haven't really showed this as it is right here to anybody, because there's stuff from the other showreel that I didn't put on this one that I could try to consider putting. So I decided to have it. There's like a clear break between the two on the middle. So I think it could be nice to also define that.
Okay, I see what you mean. So it would probably be like around here, is it? Like that's when it starts the new one.
The shot after that one.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, that's the left shot. No, that's the left shot, and then it becomes like the green screen work that I did this past couple of weeks.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Okay, cool. So let's move on to the next one. So next one is just a close-up of the same thing, isn't it? This is the same simulation. Yeah,
it was to try to give some continuity.
But this is another thing, isn't it? That's not the same simulation. That's like more...
It's a different simulation, trying to keep like the vibe and
yeah. This one is looking much better. It almost looks like chocolate, so it's like really well defined in viscosity in terms of the chocolate shape. I still think you have some resolution issues, especially when you look closely and really look closely. You have like some polygonal artifacts going on, especially here when the drops they drop and they're a bit they're a bit low resolution, and you can see that also on the reflections that it's a bit low res. So you need to kind of pump some quality into this, because overall this is really nice. The motion blur is working really nice. The viscosity is very chocolate-like. I think you did a good job. If this was brown, it would definitely look like chocolate. I think you did a good job there. It's just the lack of resolution of the simulation itself that it's kind of like bringing it down a bit. Okay, and then this is the rebuild. This is the same thing but reversed, isn't it?
Yeah, reversed. Yeah,
cool.
I did it to make like a quick post on Instagram, because that I found that it was a nice way for me to keep consistency with my work. To post it and give me like a deadline, because I struggle a lot of beginning projects and never finishing them. getting overwhelmed. Yeah.
Cool, man. Okay, cool. Let's move on then. So this one here, tell me a little bit about this. The dune like worm thing going through the sand.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was another test. This one I'm actually still finishing working on it and doing like another version, giving more resolution. But like I said, it was mostly to try to learn how I could do grains and simulate sand
Yeah.
in a way. So there are quite a few issues there. Like for example, like the boundary. There's like a very clear boundary between the simulated sand and the one that's not that I fixed on the second version, but
Yeah.
I haven't really render it or mess around with it.
Yeah.
I didn't even composite the shot. I was trying to also mess around, see how lighting would react, and yeah, this second version is actually quite much better. It fixed most of these issues of like, especially like the boundary of one simulation and the other, but it's taking so long to render that I still haven't gotten it.
But this is some good work. Especially I really like your smoke simulations, the density, and also the pyro sim. This is really nice with the wind and everything. This is really well made. The thing that really is kind of like I wanted to ask you about is like the what is it really like? What is this thing? This thing that is here on the floor actually making this disruption? What is it?
I tried to make like a sandworm
I
type
see.
of creature. So what I did after, it's not over there. Over here, it's like on the second version. It's have it deform the ground.
Yeah,
So on the second version, it actually deforms the ground, and it's like
I see.
this thing burrowing it through it. On this first one, I didn't even consider rendering it, but when I started putting textures and messing around with cops, and I got this scaly texture really fast with cops. I just decided to try to integrate it into the shot, so I put it in the test.
I see. I see. Yeah, that was what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that it would have been nice if the sand would be moving around this
Yeah,
this creature.
yeah,
That's really cool. And
working on that.
I also think the creature itself, like the creature, maybe it would be better if it's like just a straight creature, because it is weird that it's moving. It's like this S shape that you have.
Yeah,
But then if it's an S shape, it should actually move as an S shape and not move. It looks
oh,
like it's moving straight. Like
yeah,
the
it moves
object.
straight.
Yeah, it looks like it makes it look like the object is an object that is already a metal S shape, and then it's moving through the sand. It would be nicer if it moves also dynamically.
It'd be nice.
That creature, I think that would be a good idea. Um, you know, yeah, so the and Mikael is saying that on the chat on Twitch, like saying not enough large scale movements, like bulging the ground from all the sand displacement. Yeah, that, like you
Yeah, yeah,
said. But I think beyond that, beyond the displacement that you can do, I think you should consider that this creature should also be a simulation. Should be like, if you just make a tube and then actually make a skeleton inside the tube, almost like a serpent, and then you
yeah,
actually make it animated as well with an inner skeleton, then it would do the swirling, it would do the S's. I think it
yeah.
would
It's
work
something
better.
to try.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to try that. Seems fun.
Yeah. Just make it, and it doesn't need to be a complex skeleton. It can just make a single
Yeah,
skeleton line with just breaks, like a tail. It would just be like a
yeah,
tail. I think that would give it a lot more realism to the whole thing.
yeah,
Yeah, and I also think that once you're a bit more finished with this thing, it would be nice if you would put like a background on it. So consider like putting like maybe a blue sky or something,
yeah.
and then yeah,
I want to add depth of field and motion blur to it.
yeah, yeah. And
Because
also
then
the sky is gonna
you're
give you a really nice lighting, because the
yeah,
HDR of the sky is gonna give you some nice
yeah,
tone into the sand and everything.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah. So yeah. I have someone here on YouTube trying to derail my stream. Studio Devs now has a new one now. He wants to talk about James Cameron joining Stability AI. Studio Devs, naughty, naughty boy. I'm not doing that now. That'll just be a rant for half an hour. I'll do it at the end. We'll talk about that at the end. Don't forget. I do have a lot of thoughts about that, but I'm not doing that now because it wouldn't be fair. Wouldn't be fair to Gabriel here because we would be talking for half an hour about that. So cool. I think this is definitely worth pursuing. This is a great shot, and it will also give you some nice compositing things to do, and yeah, try those things. Try to put the skeleton and try to put the sky. Well done, man. I especially love your atmospheric things going on here. The point clouds, I think the sand needs a bit more work. I think the sand needs to be closer together. I think you have too much scattered points and they are too far away from each other. I think they need to be more dense for it to look like sand, because at the moment it looks very much like almost pieces of, when you cut wood and you get like pieces of wood sand. That's what it looks now. I think
when I started working on the second version, I started considering taking it out and leaving just the volume.
Yeah.
So it's like this very fine, dusty feel to it. But yeah, I need to work more on this shot.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's a really worth pursuing. It's a great shot. And like I said, I love this. Like, I love these smokes that you've done. This is really good work, and especially the windy one looks amazing, and it's going to look really nice. Now, this is going to give you a can of worms, though, because this wind would affect the sand as well. So you would have to like put a simulation where the sand itself, that is this one that is going up, would also need to move sideways with the wind. So maybe put the challenge to yourself that you would have to have the sand also going to that side. But of course it's heavier, so it would just fly a little bit and then fall down. So you would have to like start messing around with that as well. But it's fun. It's a really good shot. So go for it, man. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. So this one I'm not so happy about. So tell me a little bit about this. What is this going on here?
This one was a shot for a client. It was for a visualization of this.
Oh, I see. That explains it. Okay, I see what you mean. So it's like a corporate job. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so I tried making like this nicer background. I did like some matte paintings with mountains and with bigger depth of field. But the issue is that it was distracting a bit too much from the actual point.
Yeah.
This shot over here actually has I didn't put it over on the for my showreel and everything, but it has like the name of the product and on this white space that's on top. So yeah, it was more of a corporate job that I had, so I also didn't work too much on those kinds of detail, but rather more on like how the piece actually worked. And so for compositing and doing my lighting and everything, I didn't put too much time in it.
Yeah, and I understand it's a corporate job. You usually don't even have a lot of time, and you probably don't even have a lot of budget to go through those things. But if I do it on a constructive way, like, and of course I'm sure you know already what's really problematic on this shot, but there's quite a lot of things that if this is a client shot, of course it's been delivered and it's been done, so you can't do much about it. But there's enough problems on this shot for me to say that you probably wouldn't put this on your showreel. I don't think you needed to put this on the showreel, because there's like resolution problems with this wire, with the antilization. There's like even like depth of field problems where you have the background has a certain amount of depth and defocusing, but then your object is not respecting the same depth of field. You see, the object is completely sharp, but then around it is a lot more blurred. So that's also not really connecting. And also this thing going across, it's not really affecting the floor. There's no dust flying through it. It's also a very strange transparency happening with it, because I can clearly see very detailed the background behind it. And and it looks to me like the background that you have inside this this ball is not the same as the background in the CG. You see,
Yeah.
all this grass is vertical, but when the thing crosses, you only see horizontal lines. So there's like, it looks to me like your transparency is something else than what that object is. So do you know what's going on there?
Yeah, I think it would be like an issue of how I did the motion blur,
Mm-hmm.
maybe, but I'm not so sure. I did this
Is
the
what? How
compositing.
did you use the motion blur? Was it a vector? Was it like manual?
It
How
was a
did?
vector. It was
So
a vector.
I think I know what it could be. Like,
I
so these are procedural. This is procedural elements, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
this is not geometry, is it?
yeah. There are instances.
There are instances. So it looks to me like the instances are not showing up on the vectors. You should check the vector
Uh,
paths because you see the vectors only show the floor position of where the instances are. And so they don't
oh,
show the verticality, they don't show the vertical growth on the
yeah.
instances. So it looks to me like the vector pass is missing whatever is happening on render time because you're probably
Oh,
having the
yeah.
instance and then the 3D
I
is
think
only
I know.
created in render time. It's probably not showing up on the vectors.
Yeah, yeah. No, to cut out on rendering times, I removed all the foliage, and so I left just like the ball and the on the crane
Yeah.
behind.
That explains it then. That
Yeah,
explains it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That
Makes sense.
explains
Makes
why
sense.
the motion blur is why the transparency is not working. So you need to
Yeah,
like look into that because that's really making it look like this object is not there. It's not
yeah.
actually colliding or even really working. And it's funny because Mikael is saying on Twitch, transparency colliding like old video games, and he's right. Mikael is really right because on the old video games, it's also depending on, well, even the video games we have today, like all the depth of field and motion blur is usually done faked. It's usually done with vector passes as well. And
Yeah.
usually they do have, it's like the ray tracing and also the screen reflection on games. They're usually using a lower resolution version of whatever is there to make those reflections. So it
Yeah.
does remind me of old video games for sure. So Mikael has a good point there. Yeah. So and also he has a good point, an excellent point that I didn't even mention. The tumbleweed looks really wrong scale. It looks like it's really the scale is a bit off in terms of the
Yeah, I
scale
have
of
an issue with that as well.
yeah exactly. So yeah, so this shot, afraid,
It should probably go out.
yeah, I don't think you should. I don't think you should have it here. I feel like
Yeah,
feel like it's not good enough to be on your channel. It looks very. I hope you don't mind me saying this. I think it looks very amateurish.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
No, I agree. I agree.
yeah, yeah. So let's. Sorry. Okay. So Diogo, let's continue here. The next shot here. So is this the same kind of project?
Yeah, it's from the same project, but like the perspective of the piece and the 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 ground and so on.
What is that? Jesus Cristo? What do you wrote there?
Oh, no, that yeah. I totally forgot about it.
Be careful with this because I'm
Yeah,
Portuguese, so I know what you wrote there.
yeah,
So be
yeah,
careful because those are curse words, and you never know, man. You never know
yeah.
who
No,
knows Portuguese. Be
but
careful with those things.
yeah, that
Yeah.
slipped.
Yeah, you should never have curse words on your
Yeah.
yeah. So we have like basically the biggest curse word here going on with father. So be careful with that because
Yeah,
you might have someone watching that wouldn't
yeah.
find it funny. So
No, no, yeah, yeah. It's yeah. It was a comment for even for myself. Was just doing a test. And I didn't want to leave the actual text explaining
yeah.
the piece on it.
Yeah. So for those of you watching, this word, the last word here, foda, that's the word for fuck in Portuguese. So just wanted to mention everyone so that they know. I don't usually curse on this channel, but I just wanted to like let everyone know that that's what that word
So I
means.
should be careful.
So that's the word. Okay, so this shot definitely I think should go away from your showreel, not because of the curse
Yeah.
word, but it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah. Yeah. But
not quality enough. I think
yeah.
this one, if you did want to do, it's funny that I'm watching these shots because in the beginning of my career, I used to do a lot of corporate videos, and it's always this kind of shot. It's always this kind of productions. When we did like the corporate vids, it would always be this kind of quality, and they would always be so happy about it. Like, oh, this looks
Yeah.
amazing, and like,
That's what it's
really,
so
you
funny.
think it looks amazing? Okay.
It's so funny. And when I did something that I was actually kind of proud of, and okay, no, this is gonna make like a bump better in production quality. They always asked me to like go behind.
Yeah, no, if you did want to do this, not that you're going to do that, but if you did want to do this really really good, it is possible. It would be like just making a much more higher resolution texture of the
Yeah.
ground, and then of course not having this kind of shading on
Yeah.
these pillars, having more detail on them, and then these particles would have to have some motion blur going on them. So it is
Yeah.
possible to make it look good, and in fact, I've done many times that when I had clients on corporate, especially when I was working in Sweden, I used to work on a company called Animec, which only did corporate videos for machinery, for machines and medical facilities. And because we were so bored about it, we would make them really look good. We would use at the time, this was 2005, would use V-Ray, had like completely photoreal global illuminated renders, and use Nuke to comp it looking amazing with motion blur and depth of field and everything. And so we would do these photoreal visualizations because we wanted to do that. And then the client would just be blown away, like, oh my God, it would be like high level, commercial level stuff that we were doing. But because the clients paid well, and so you could afford to do those really high quality versions. But
Yeah.
once in a while, we would have a client that we would do a really amazing thing, and they would complain, oh, this looks too realistic. We need something more simple. And so when
Yeah.
that happened, we would then give it to the juniors, and they would do it or something. It would be like a bit like that. So we would try to see if it sticks, so that we could build our showreel and we could then send the videos to awards and things like that. And then some clients would not mind, and some clients didn't really want it. So it was a
Yeah.
funny thing to do.
Yeah. And with me, there was a lot of this issue of doing everything myself and having like this video having to explain this concept and concepting the whole video, scripting it, and going a lot of back and forth and doing revisions. At some point, I was also burnt out by
Yeah,
it.
I bet
So
it. I bet. I love what Mikael is saying on Twitch. He says, "Just screen capture the viewport and deliver." I love that.
that's what I've been doing now.
I love that, Mikael. That's amazing. They would Mikael, they probably would look at it and say, "Oh my God, that looks amazing." They would probably think it's great. But although you never know, because clients are starting to be used to like Unreal, and they're starting to be used to games, and clients are a bit younger now, and so sometimes expectations are quite tough to meet because they look at all these games and they look at these Unreal tests and AI and everything, and then they consider they want something really really amazing as well. So that sometimes it backfires as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on. Now we're gonna go to compositing. So this is one of the shots from Oak Lake from my course. So let's start with the comp itself. I think you did a good job with the compositing of the shot. I would say that there's a couple of things that I would tell you to address. So I'll start. First of all, I think that the rotoscoping and keying on the edge of his shoulder and his arm is having this kind of weird halo effect around the shoulder. There's like this whitish halo that kind of like moves, and also you have like a loose mask here. You see that is moving around there. There's like a little cut there that you've left. So this is looks like to me like it's some kind of like rogue mask that you have somewhere.
Yeah. This shot I also did it. I didn't even touch it recently because I did it when I had the Nuke non-commercial.
Yeah.
So I got the educational license and I wasn't being able to import
Yeah, you
and
can't open it. That's right.
yeah,
Yeah, I know. It sucks. Although I
yeah.
know, have you tried contacting them? But because they used to convert scripts for people if they wanted.
Oh,
So
that's good. I can talk
maybe
to them.
contact them, because I remember that in the past I've had people contacting them and they did the conversion for them. If you would say, "Oh, I'm a student, I am doing this course, could you just convert it?" They might convert it. It's
Yeah, we'll
the
do that.
maximum you get is a no. So
Yeah.
it's worth the try, because they used to do that
Yeah,
before.
because I was kind of lazy trying to do the key. I tried to redo the shot from scratch, but it started getting kind of like I'm gonna try to do other shots,
Yeah,
get on
yeah,
with
yeah, yeah, yeah,
now redo the same thing.
yeah, yeah. It's funny what you like. Mikhail is already like giving a comment that I really agree on Twitch. Like he says, I think corporate videos to detailed videos looks distracting from the main purpose of the video. It's more like an animated schematic rather than artistic. You're absolutely right. We had those issues sometimes, because sometimes we would do them too good, and then they would become very difficult for the client. For example, if we once we did like an X-ray machine animation, and the client came back saying they didn't really understood what they were watching because it was too good. Like they wanted something more simple so they could understand the X-ray. So I think you're absolutely right. You do need to like you did need to like really get the expectations and what you're trying to deliver. And I do agree with in YouTube. I agree with Urber Rec as well. Better to start over. It's just more practice. So
Yeah.
he has a point, but they have a point. Like, but I don't want to mention that. I don't know if I don't know your gender, so I guess they have a point. So I'm not sure I would bother with. If I was on your place, I would just start again, for sure.
Yeah.
Because I think you would do a much better job now.
Yeah.
But yeah, and other things as well. You have a lot of lack of detail of roto and key on the glass here. Oh, sorry, just a second. Hey, sorry, just give me a second, because I think I went down. My stream went down. Can you still hear me? I think my stream went down. Oh man, no. I think it went down. Okay, I think I'm back. I think I'm back. Yeah. Diogo, can you hear me? Diogo, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hey, Diogo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, apologies
Sorry.
for that. Apologies for that. The stream still continued. It's just that I lost momentarily for a couple of seconds. I lost internet connection, and so I don't know why really, because I have a cabled connection, but maybe just a glitch on the connection. Although I don't use Wi-Fi, I use cabled connection, but still sometimes there's like a
Yeah, it
glitch or
happens.
something. Yeah. So I think we're all back, both on Twitch now. Keep in mind, everyone watching on Twitch, that Twitch has this really annoying thing when it goes down to stop as a VOD and then start a new VOD. So anyone rewatching this stream on Twitch will see that there are part 1 and part 2. He splits it when it goes down. He just closes it, makes the video, and then makes another video, which is really annoying. So I'll label it part 1, part 2 later on. YouTube doesn't do that. YouTube just stays there. You'll just have like a black area during the stream, but it just doesn't, doesn't really stay. It doesn't really go down. But Twitch is really annoying. So, but yeah, we're fully back again, Diogo. So apologies for that. I'm gonna share my screen again. So since we're in the middle of it, so entire screen 1, and you now should be able to see my.
Yeah.
Let me just double check here. I think I lost my. Yeah, there you go. So that's where we were. You see it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So apologies, everyone. We're all back. Xhapis on YouTube says, Hugo, how much practice is enough in a single day to get good understanding on nuking compositing? Oh man, I don't know, man. Do as much as you can. I don't know, man. I think you shouldn't do too much though, otherwise you go crazy. These days I don't. I maybe that's because I'm getting old. I can't really comp for very long amounts of time in a row. I usually try to keep it to like 4 hours maximum, and then make a huge break of an hour or something, and then I do another 4 hours or something. So I recommend people stopping when they're feeling tired, because you're not gonna earn anything. You're not gonna win anything from being too tired and not doing it correctly, you know. So just learn to stop a bit as well. Okay. So, going back to this, so yeah, so I was just about to say that I think that the keying and rotoscoping on the glass is a bit broken up. So you're missing a connection of the glass there, and you're missing the rest of the glass as well.
Yeah.
So the other thing as well is that you have some inconsistency on the shape of his head. Like you have like a little black hole here on the top of the head, and then it goes away. So it's like he has a little bump on his head, but then when he was here, he didn't have the bump. So you have that inconsistency there as well. Also on the bottom here, you have this really strange whitish color going on this hole. This needs to be darken it, because you see this is black around here. So this would not pick up light. And I understand that it picking up light because there was a green screen there, quite bright. This is quite bright, but because of course you're replacing it with black, it needs to be darkened as well. So I would advise you to just pick up a color corrector and try to darken that thing completely.
All right.
Yeah. And then also you have quite a lot of harsh shapes on this lamp. It looks to me like there's some kind of thing going on with the edges. Maybe the pre-multiplication is wrong. Maybe there's something wrong, but it kind of looks like it's very dark edges, and you have almost like a really subtle black edge around the lamp. And then last but not least, there's a bit of a discrepancy between the amount of noise that the footage has and the noise that you have on the CG. Especially when you look at the hat here, there's a lot of noise on the hat. So you need to make a decision, Diogo. Either denoise the whole thing or put more noise on the CG to match it, you know.
Okay.
You need to kind of match that better, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say this shot is going well, but it has quite a few problems that you need to like address. Okay, next up, the train thing here. So I think you did a good job with the train being placed. One thing I would recommend you to do is that if this was being filmed by a cinematographer, most likely they would be they would start the shot focusing on the train, and then they would rack focus to the back. So what I would advise you would be to be fully focused here, so you would just not see the focus. It would be sharp, this train, and the background would be defocused. And then as the train goes away, you can just do either a quick rack, or you could just do a slow rack focus, so that the DOP, the director of photography, would be like focusing in, you know, something like that. Yeah. So, and then the cleanup itself, I think you did a really good job. Like, let's just wait for it to come back. I think you did a good job. I look at the trousers. I think you did a good job rebuilding the trousers. There's a couple of things here that move. So I don't know if you know. Let me just.
Bag.
Yeah. So.
I got them back.
Yeah. So you have like there's a line here. You see that line there, like the trousers line is kind of moving in. So you have like some kind of mask again cutting here and moving with it. Apart from that, I think you did a good job. You also, the shoe that you've made up is not correct, because you see, if you look at the shoe, there's like a blackish darker area on the top, and then the sole is gray. So you
Okay,
need
yeah,
to make a sole as well on the bottom and then a darker top. So your shoe is not really the same. It's almost like he
yeah,
went out of his house with two shoes. So you
yeah,
need to like look at that as well. So yeah. And that's also why Mikael is mentioning there's black point issues, black point matching, because I think that's that shoe that really looks weird in terms of the black point. Now the rest of the cleanup, I think you did a really good job. I feel like you cleaned up everything correctly, and everyone is gone, and yeah, and the graffitis are gone as well. I think you did a good job with re-putting back the removing the bars and actually putting the floor a really nice depth of field matching as well on this platform ledge there. So those are the only things that I can see out of top of, as I can see it here through the video. But I think you did a good job. Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's continue. So next, this shot here. This is of course the full shot. So again, I think you did a great job. Like, I don't see any issues. You did a fabulous cleanup. It's all gone. So I think well done. I think you did a really good job in inventing the grass that should have been there, since the truck was covering it so much.
yeah.
I think you still left a little bit of the board there. You see, like, there's like the top of this
Oh,
billboard is
true,
still
true.
there, so you need
Yeah,
to
I
kind
didn't see it.
of you need
Yeah,
to kind of remove that.
let's fix it.
Yeah, you also, like, not that it's a problem, but you did remove the lamp that used to be there and this pole. You've took them
Yeah,
out. It's not that it's a problem, but consider that sometimes directors get quite picky with these things of you
yeah.
not changing the shot. So you would have to, like, bring back this pillar, and also these
All right,
electricity boxes should come back as well, because you
all
removed
right,
them
all
as
right.
well, because they are part of the town, so I
Yeah,
think that's too much. I feel like that's too much cleanup. Like you're cleaning up things that would belong to the city, like the
yeah,
trash bin, and like certain things you don't have to clean up.
yeah,
I think it's more about cleaning up the cars and everything. Now, having said that, I do think that it's hard to tell, because I'm watching on a very compressed signal, and I'm watching like an H.265 64 that you did a QuickTime,
yeah,
but it looks to me like it's a bit, you notice a bit the blur. I might be wrong. Maybe you don't notice it on the screen. So you should have a look on your comp if you still see it or
yeah.
not.
A bit like the edges of the.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Right.
Cool. Julian is saying on YouTube that rack focus would help because the train looks like a 2D object. I will tell you one thing, Julian. This is not 2D. It's actual 3D rendered. It's just that the lens itself is not helping, because it looks quite flat because of the type of lens. And you can see that it's 3D because you see there's parallax going. You can see that in here you don't see the edge of the train, and then you start seeing the rest of the edge of the train. So there is parallax on the train. It's just that it's very subtle because it's such. I think this was a long lens. I think it was a 50 mil. I can't remember, but I think that was what it was. So that's why it looks a bit 2D-ish. So the rack focus would definitely help. Okay, so did a good job with that. And then we have this shot here. So this shot here, let's see here. Okay, cool. So I think that it's well made, but there's a couple of things that I would say. First of all, there's like some tracking problems with the mirror. You can kind of see that in here on the beginning, the mask is looking quite good, but then it
Yeah.
kind of moves a bit, and you
Oh,
start
true.
having an edge
Mhm.
on the bottom of the mirror there. You see, that's an
Yeah, yeah,
edge
yeah.
there.
I can see.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
can
it's
see.
starting to move. So Julian has a really good idea there. To make it more exciting with the train station, maybe a dolly in would help. Because if you put a dolly, like if the camera was on a dolly and zooming in, I think that would have helped a bit to make it a bit more
Yeah.
exciting and more animated. So that could be a good idea. So thanks for the suggestion, Julian. Okay, so let's see here. Now, I think you did a good job. I do think that the shadows on the creatures, on these creatures, are maybe a little bit too intense. I think you should tone them down a bit because they are really tiny, and maybe just tone down the shadows, because if you look at the shot, there's not a lot of shadows right now. There's also the thing with the glass is not really respecting the depth of field very well. It's too sharp for what it is, because you can kind of see I think there's a lot of depth of field going on here, and then the CG glass is really like not
Sharp.
integrated well, you know.
Yeah.
So I would say that I would definitely do that, and then I do think that originally on this shot we have if you look at the I guess that's your objective was to make it a bit more ghost figure, wasn't it? It was to make it more ghostly, wasn't it?
Yeah. Make it like a ghost.
Now, although you've done that, there is like a mask pop here. You see that?
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so you need to like see if you can sort that out, so that you don't have that. Cool. But yeah, this is looking good, man. So just fix those things, and then we go on to this shot. This shot is just the keying exercise that you did there. It's hard to it's hard to tell. I think you should present a black and white version of this so that we see the matte. Because I can see a lot of movement and flickering going on the locks of hair. These locks of hair on the top, they're very noisy. So you need to kind of put it on black and white so that we can really see them. Now, they're really hard to key, so consider trying to do luminosity keying mixed with maybe, and if it all fails with additive keyers or luminosity or with key light, if it all fails, you should consider maybe drawing it with roto shapes, like just lines. I don't know if you know, but you can write, you can draw lines with the roto line, you know.
Yeah, so, I was trying to key it. I was having a lot of issues with the noise on that area. Denoising it wasn't really helping much. It was quite a bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the final way I got it was with an additive key.
Okay, cool. But it's still a bit noisy, so I think you need to keep that additive keyer and maybe try to kind of a few mats on top to help that, because it's really flickering, and I think as soon as you put this on black and white, you'll see that. So consider that. Okay, so then next shot, this one, the front shot, and let's see here, same thing here. I would want to see it in black and white. And I think you went too soft. So you see, if you look closely, you see it's quite sharp, actually. You can kind of see the locks of hair, and you went with an edge blur, quite an extreme edge blur. You have too much edge blurring going on here. So you need to have more sharp edges. And again, you should probably help it with maybe some more masking to put it on top, to try to recover some of it. Not all. It's impossible to put it all back, but try to at least recover some more and have less edge blurring, and also stuff like this. You see, you lost completely this lock of hair. It's lost. It's gone now. So you need to kind of, and even here, look, you have semi-transparency on the shoulders. You see, like it's going through the. You need to kind of like respect that this shoulder, although it's edge blurred, it's not that edge blurred. You know. So it needs to like be a bit better.
I was bored with it.
Yeah, it's a difficult key because it's a really crappy camera, so it's a difficult key. I can't believe it's been now. I filmed this film on 2017, and I haven't finished it yet. So no, I know, because I haven't touched it in like 5 years or something. I don't think I will ever finish it now. Now, like these actors, like these people are my students at the time. They're all so different now, because it's like 7 years ago. It's gonna be 8 years soon. Okay, so then we have the marker removal here from this dude here. Let's see here. So now, in terms of, let's start with the marker removal. I think you did a good job with the marker removal. I don't really see any issues, although I feel like, well, no, that's actually part of his skin. He has a really strange skin, the dude,
Yeah,
because
it was
he has
some
sections that
pimples.
look like blurred, but they're not. It's his skin itself. Yeah, yeah. So I think the markers, you did a remarkable good job. I think the key needs some work. You still have some
Yeah,
gray edges going on the hair here, and the locks of hair
yeah,
are kind of missing a bit. So because you see, they're really bright. If you stop on a frame, you see there's really bright locks of hair. You need to bring
yeah,
all that back, and it's quite sharp. You really see detailed hair here, and so you
yeah,
need to like try to bring that back because you lost it completely. There, you see.
yeah,
Yeah. So see if you can get anything a bit better, and also like these black edges here.
yeah.
Yeah, you need
That's
to
an
like
issue.
see if you can control that. If you can't control that, you could also, if this is a keying exercise, you can just remove that, and just
Yeah,
rotate the
I can
hand and
also
not have that
roll
on
it.
the, yeah, and not have it at all. I think that
All
could
right, right.
be fine. Yeah. So, uh, let's see here. So, oh yeah, yeah. Michaela has a point. There is like a couple of times where a marker comes back. You see here, like that marker
Yeah,
came back. So
yeah,
I would advise you to go frame by frame and see if something pops in. I think
yeah.
that one is also coming back, and
Probably
there's a
might, yeah,
there's a couple of subtle ones that kind of came back a little bit and then go away again. So you need to kind of
yeah.
go through it, and really,
Give it a good
yeah.
rotation.
Again,
Yeah,
they're coming back here as well.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
just go frame by frame, my friend.
yeah,
Okay, cool. So now getting back, so
yeah. I messed around with some sky removal replacement.
okay. Oh, sorry. Cool. So this is different from the old one that you've made.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I guess it's an amalgam of. Yeah, the replaced sky is comes later there.
oh, I see. I see. So you have a lot of problems there. So all this
Yeah,
is not working. So you have a lot of
yeah,
blurs going on here. So this either is done correctly, and also even the edges, like there's too much light
yeah,
wrap and too much edge
yeah,
blur on the whole church and all the treetops.
yeah.
I feel like the other one looks much better than this one. So you should
Cool,
just
cool.
skip this one, or unless you
Okay.
can make it work.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. It's because of
Um.
they told me to practice sky replacement,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I think that was like a good shot to practice.
Yeah. Yeah. So apologies everyone, because we've been doing this for almost 2 hours now, and we usually do a break every hour, but I didn't want to do a break in the middle of the real review,
No,
so I do apologize. We will do a break soon, because we're almost done. So well, we're not almost done. We still have quite.
you can rush. That would be like the real part two. I don't think
Yeah.
it's much of
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
of that important. It's not much compositing. It's
Yeah.
more animation wise.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think we will, because we've been going on for a long, long
Yeah,
time,
yeah, it's
and
better.
yeah, and I think when I look at this, if this is part of animation, I think just out of the, if I give you some small notes, first off,
Yeah,
out of the blue, like try to put more polygons and make this smoother, because you can clearly see
yeah,
the mesh. The other thing
yeah.
as well with this hand is I think it needs more secondary animation. Of course the hand is moving, that's the
Yeah,
first animation, but it needs
it was. Yeah, it was
small.
meant to be like a robot.
Okay, so it would be, but even if it was a robot, it looks like a 2D
And
image right now. I think you
yeah,
should consider giving it some more hand movement and finger movement. So it's a bit more like, even if it's a robot, it could be
yeah,
opening it up and putting the hand or something, and a bit more smooth. Because
yeah,
right now it just looks like a 2D image coming through. So I would, out of those two things, the lighting is also a bit off, but I think the polygonal and the animation would need to be a bit better.
yeah.
I think.
Okay.
Okay, this thing looks really cool. What is this, by the way? Like this looks cool.
It was another experiment with Houdini.
Yeah,
I did, I think, last year.
this looks
End of
great.
the
I
next
I,
year.
I really like it. I have no idea what it is, but it it,
It's
it
like an
look
amoeba cell or something.
yeah.
And
It's really well made. The look of it, the development, the design of it, it's really neat. I like also the chromatic aberration and blurriness that you've put in, the
yeah,
sucking part of it. This is really nice. Really nice work.
Seen like through a microscope.
Yeah, yeah, looks really nice. Okay, this one here, I don't think this is working really well. I feel like
Yeah.
I think the quality of your what is this supposed to be? These Lego kind of like things going on here. What is this supposed to be?
Yeah, kind of like it was like my a film we did for my
Oh, I
master's,
see, I see.
and so it was supposed to be kind of like this more janky design
I
with like
see, I see, I see.
a face being drawn,
I see.
so as if being like the robot's trying to make like clones, but he can never make like a decent clone.
I see.
Whenever he makes one, it's killed. So
I see. I see, I see,
uh,
I see. Yeah, I don't really have a lot to say then because this is really a high stylized animation, and I think
yeah,
I didn't understood it because it was that shot first. So
of course.
I think if it's supposed to be janky, you've achieved that. You've achieved that clearly, so that looks quite cool. Is this also the same kind of thing, the same kind of animation? This
Yeah,
one here?
it was for different. It was for this Clinton Jones challenge when I was learning 3D.
Yeah,
Uh, Ended up taking like the month to do it, so
yeah.
it's
The,
pretty old. It's been a
yeah,
couple of years already.
yeah. This shot probably should go then because if it's very old, because it has a lot of problems. It has a lot of noise
Yeah,
problems. The depth of field is very wrong outside the window as well.
yeah,
I like the design and the ghost and everything, but I think just the depth of field really cuts it a bit too much. It's just too extreme.
yeah, yeah.
And then the amount of noise on the jewelry is just way too much.
Yeah,
You know,
it's annoying.
yeah. Now this is all. This just looks like a test, really, as well. So
Yeah,
you
it
know,
does.
I don't really have much to say. I think also you should probably not have it. And then
Yeah,
this again is the jank animation, which looks quite cool actually. So I would probably have to explain that to whoever is watching. And I think these are the last shots as well. So
yeah,
this shot here, this looks cool, man. This looks actually quite nice. The lighting coming in through the wood looks really nice. There's some problems with the motion blur of whatever this object is. As he comes through, there's like a lot of development of edge blurs that happen in the
yeah,
wrong place, and especially this here. There's like a lot of artifacts on the motion blur,
yeah,
and also there's this really strange uh, like depth of field merging where you have the depth of field of the wall kind of going into the
yeah,
to the wood. Looks like the edge is not defined on the depth of field. You need to kind of look into that as well.
yeah.
But it's looking nice. I do feel that you're missing some bump on the wall. So if this was stone, it would be more popping out. It's too,
Yeah.
and also like, I would fire whoever did this house. Look at how wrong it is. Like it's going downwards and upwards, and so you need to kind of straighten it a bit more and have actually some displacement going on there. And Mikhail has a really good point, but maybe steam glass on the window that could help as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely there. Now this is
That one, it was like almost good. I forgot to. I didn't know I had to post process my pyro sims.
yeah.
Again, was when I was learning Houdini, so it's like full of artifacts and issues on the fire.
Yeah. Yeah, this one has a lot of problems. It has like you
Yeah,
said, it's cutting and everything. So it's just a test really. And
yeah,
then
I was
again,
learning.
yeah, and then again the really janky thing. This is part of the janky animation as well. And I think that's the last thing you have here.
Yeah, there's a last shot.
Yeah, so I think overall, like I said, I think your show really is good. You're talented, but it's like we've discussed in the beginning. It needs to be a lot smaller. You need to kind of remove some stuff, and it's
Yeah,
clear to me that from everything I've seen, I think this melted cube looks quite nice. I think I would keep that. The melted chocolate I would keep with the notes I've said, but
of
like if
course.
you could fix those things. But let me put it this way: what I would definitely remove, I would finish this shot, by the way. What I would definitely remove completely, for me personally, I would definitely remove this,
Yeah,
the desert thing. I would definitely remove this thing with the sand thatcher hit there, and I would fix the keying on all these, the stuff we discussed. I would keep this version, but remove the sky replacement version that you made.
yeah, yeah.
I would keep this but fix those things and the pops. I would do the black and white roto in keys and fix those keys as well for these two shots. I would fix the popping of the points and maybe remove the white cloth there on the wall. I would remove the sky replacement completely. And then this hand, if you can make it better, I would keep it. But if not, you remove. You should keep
I think I would
this.
just keep
Yeah.
the amoeba,
Yeah.
the cell, and fit from all the
That's
shots.
nice. Yeah, the amoeba shot looks nice. I wouldn't keep this. Wouldn't keep this. I wouldn't keep this. I would remove that as well. Remove that. This I would keep if you could fix it a bit, because it's nice.
I lost. It's really old.
Okay,
It's very,
cool.
very old.
Then I would remove it. Fire I would remove, and then the last janky stuff I would remove as well. So that's really it, really. I think you have a good show. You have at least a minute and something there of stuff, you know. So
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like I said, I did like an Frankenstein, so maybe some stuff that I had removed and wouldn't put. I could possibly have some notes and put it in, but
yeah,
overall I did good in removing them.
absolutely. So yeah,
All right,
so I hope this was beneficial, Diogo. I hope you come back and show me the next round. You know, you're always welcome. You're my student, so just contact me. And even if there's no slots on the showreel reviews, just ask me and we can fit in a new slot. You're my student, so I'm happy to prioritize my students over everyone else. So so just once you have a bit more build on your showreel, just like send it back again. And I would love to review it again and give you some more pointers and good luck with everything. You know, good luck with everything that is going on. You know.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was great.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
It was great. Thank you.
So I guess, do you have any other questions or anything you would like to say, or should we keep it for now?
Not really. I think should already start going for the next person. Took too much time already for me.
No, it's fine. Don't worry. Don't worry. You know, if I do apologize to the other person that are waiting, but you know, we're still gonna have to do a break. I need to stretch my legs. I need to go to the toilets as well.
Yeah.
And so we'll do a break and then we come back. But Diogo, you're always welcome. Just contact me again, okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Cool,
Thank you so much.
See you later.
It was great.
Bye.
See you. Bye bye.
Okay, cool. Excellent. So, apologies to Julian. I know Julian is on the chat already. So, Julian, I'm so sorry that we are pretty much an hour late to the slot that you've booked. I really hope that's fine with you. I'm so sorry that it got a bit more late. But if you can still stick around, I really need to do a break. So I'll do a break, stretch my legs, and I come back right after. It will be just a 10-minute break like usual. We've been going on for a long, long time. So if you all don't mind, I think I should do a 15-minute break, if you don't mind, because I really need to stretch my legs and go to the loo and get something to drink. And so I hope that's okay with you, Julian. Okay, I was freaking out. I was late. It's fine. You can still look at it. Yeah, Julian, is that okay? Is that okay for you that we do a break now and then we can come back? Is that fine with you? I really hope so. So I will do I'll do a break here. During the break, as usual, we're going to go and see several things during the break. So we'll see the commercial from BenQ during the break. We'll also see the commercial for my wife's book, Green Recipes for All. If you're interested, there's a trailer for that. And then I'll be back in 15 minutes. So I'll put a timer. Okay, I'm glad that Julian said yes. There's some people on the chat saying that there's been swearing. Where has been swearing? I didn't say anything. We didn't swear. Okay, so I'll be right back. Give us 15 minutes since we've been doing it for so long now that I think I would prefer for it to be 15 minutes so I can stretch my legs. Well, I'll be right back in exactly 15 minutes. I'll put a clock here, and hope to see you all very soon in 15 minutes, okay? See you all very soon, and see you later.
Hello everyone! I'm super excited to give you a glimpse of my first cookbook, Green Recipes for All, featuring over 50 dishes inspired by amazing Mediterranean food. Inside, you can find recipes made with a variety of fresh, healthy, and versatile ingredients and popular plant-based products. These are great choices whether you already follow a plant-based diet or simply wish to cook a few weekly meat-free meals to reduce your overall meat consumption. In the book, you'll find a wide range of new and exclusive recipes, from soups and big salads to main courses and desserts, as well as some of the most popular recipes here on my channel, such as the perfectly cooked non-stick rice or the tabbouleh-style bulgur and mixed bean salad. Not forgetting a new version of the delicious tofu chocolate mousse. So, if you'd like to have a look at my book and try some of the recipes, just visit any Amazon marketplace and order a copy, which is available in hardcover, paperback or digital formats. Hope you enjoyed the book, have fun cooking, and see you next time. Hello everyone! I'm super excited to give you a glimpse of my first cookbook, Green Recipes for All, featuring over 50 dishes inspired by amazing Mediterranean food. Inside, you can find recipes made with a variety of fresh, healthy, and versatile ingredients and popular plant-based products. These are great choices whether you already follow a plant-based diet or simply wish to cook a few weekly meat-free meals to reduce your overall meat consumption. In the book, you'll find a wide range of new and exclusive recipes, from soups and big salads to main courses and desserts, as well as some of the most popular recipes here on my channel, such as the perfectly cooked non-stick rice or the tabbouleh-style bulgur and mixed bean salad. Not forgetting a new version of the delicious tofu chocolate mousse. So, if you'd like to have a look at my book and try some of the recipes, just visit any Amazon marketplace and order a copy, which is available in hardcover, paperback or digital formats. Hope you enjoyed the book, have fun cooking, and see you next time.
We are now back. Sorry, I had the thing muted. So, hope you've relaxed a little bit. We were running for a long, long time. So much for me wanting to make these things a bit shorter. So, you saw there the BenQ commercial, and you also saw my wonderful Anna, my wonderful book, the wonderful book from Anna, from my wife, as well. I left the chat on the chat both on Twitch and on LinkedIn. Sorry, Twitch on YouTube as well. Getting tired. So I've left the links on the chats, on both chats as well. I have my green cola here, of course, because it's really hot here on the office because of the computers. Again, Green Cola is not a sponsor. I really need to contact them to see if they want to be a sponsor, because that would probably be interesting since they are green. So they will be green screen cola. Maybe they even can call it green screen cola. But yeah, this is the moment. Again, not a sponsor. The sponsors of this stream is BenQ, but I will still open it. It's such a lovely sound. It's really good. Just so you all know, Green cola has no preservatives. It doesn't damage your teeth. It doesn't have any of those. It's all natural ingredients, so it doesn't destroy the enamel in your teeth. They also have orange, cherry, and lemonade. I have them as well. But of course, this is the only one that has coffee on it. That's why I'm drinking it. By the way, I just wanted a quick conversation, like a really, really quick one. How excited! You probably noticed on my shirt that I'm really, really excited. Silent Hill 2, the remake of Silent Hill 2, is out next week, so I can't wait to play it. That's what I have here. This is Lakeside Amusement Park from Silent Hill 3, and so Silent Hill is my favorite franchise of all times, and I can't wait to play the remake of Silent Hill 2. I played Silent Hill 2 like 3 times already in the PlayStation 2. I even did a stream with Silent Hill 1 years ago on Twitch as well, which was really nice, which we were talking about VFX while I was doing Silent Hill. And so maybe I'll consider playing it on Twitch. That could be nice. I love that game. And now that I completely finished Dark Souls 2 now. So now I've done Elden Ring, Platinum Elden Ring, completely finished in Platinum, 300 hours. Completely finished Demon Souls and Platinum that, 100 hours. And then I finished Dark Souls, Platinum that as well, 150 hours. And now I just finished yesterday Dark Souls 2. Not going to platinum it. Dark Souls 2 sucks. I'm not going to platinum that one. But I did about 100 hours as well. Now I'm going to jump into Dark Souls 3, which is the next one on my line. And then I have Bloodborne and then Sekiro to play all of them. I want to play all of them before I go to Japan, in case I meet Miyazaki and then I can talk to him about that. So, but yeah, so I'm really looking forward to doing a pause between the Dark Souls games and just like playing Silent Hill 2. So that's going to be good. Yeah, Dark Souls is just amazing. I can't, best games ever. And like, I just can't, I hope I can meet Miyazaki while I'm in Japan. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to meet him. I'm going to bring a game for him to sign, and that would be amazing. Anyway, so Oscar is asking, do you have sometimes other professionals here reviewing their reels? So that's funny that you asked that. So Victor Perez has offered to do that. So I've had Victor in my office here once, a couple of months ago, and we did a stream together about his career and about his book. And so I think Victor is not in London right now. I think he's not here. So, but as soon as he's back, I'm going to reach out and I'm going to try to have him here so he can also help me with some reels. So that would be a good idea. At least Victor would be one of them that I would like to bring them. Elden Ring is part of the franchise. It's a Dark Souls game, and it's from From Software, which is the company that makes those games. It's hard as nails. But I become so good at them after 100 hours that I can beat any boss on Game Plus without even breaking a sweat. So you become so good at them that it becomes quite easy actually after a while. So I feel that they became quite easy now, for me at least, because I have so much practice. I've now played a total over the last 3 years. I played 500 hours of Dark Souls games. So I'm so good at it now that I don't really, I can really break them really quickly as well, because you become really good at them. So yeah, Victor is definitely coming in. Okay, so let's move on to the next showreel review. And again, apologies to Julian, because he's been waiting for a while. I'm gonna bring them in, and hopefully that works. And then let's see here. So I'm gonna bring them in. Okay, Julian, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Great. So Julian, again, apologies for the delay on this reel. I hope
one second, that I have you on I have the live running.
Oh yeah, you probably want to pause that, because we're gonna do it through this call, and it's really delayed. As usual, it's always very delayed.
No worries. I just muted it. It's cool.
Cool. Cool, man. So thank you so much for sticking around, and I do again apologies for the lateness of this call. It's about an hour late for you, and so I do apologize. I will try to be better next time at those things, but sometimes it's out of my control sometimes. So I'm gonna share my screen, and I'm gonna play your showreel in loop. I hope you can see my mouse so I can point out things.
Yes, I can see it.
Yeah, so
Yes.
so I'm gonna share it on the screen so people can watch it. So here's the thing. So tell me a little bit about yourself, Julian. While we're watching your reel, like tell us a little bit about you.
Yes, sir. Well, my name is Julian Barragan, and I mainly been an editor
Yep.
for about the past 10 years. But in the commercial, mostly in the commercial world, if you look at the showcase reel,
Yep.
7 out of those 10 years have been doing VFX, and I have delved and dipped my toes with CGI, but not as much. It's mostly VFX and compositing that I've been done for the longest time.
Yeah.
But my big thing this year is to start doing a lot more CGI-centric work. Also, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, no, thank you for this. Thank you for looking at the reel, because I'm working on the process of the next one.
Cool.
So this is going to be really, really helpful.
Of course. No, I'm glad to help. And okay, cool. So you said you're an editor. You dabbled into visual effects. And so what are we looking here? Like, this is a reel of a lot of things. It's a minute of high tempo editing, really. I wanted to ask you, the music that you have on your show reel, is it something commercial or is it something licensed? What kind of music is it?
It's a royalty-free song for this one.
Okay, I'm gonna just put a little bit of sound to see what it is. Okay. So you've
Can you 2 quick seconds? I gotta answer a call real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. I'm just gonna play his showreel with some sound. Hear me out. Like, so he just mentioned that it was like royalty free. So I'm gonna believe him, and I'm going to put it in. Now, consider this. If it becomes flagged on YouTube, I will then mute this section on my VOD. So let's listen to his showreel in total. It's only 1 minute long with the sound and see how that goes. Okay, that's now mute. That's now. I'm just gonna. Oh yeah, you already muted yourself, Julian. So I just muted you as well.
Yes, sir. I'm back.
So if this gets flagged by YouTube, I will mute it later. It's not a problem. And then if anyone is watching this on a replay, you'll notice that it's muted the sound on this section. So YouTube now offers that option, so you can just unmute certain parts. So I've been using this lately because on my last World VFX Day stream I did 12 years last year, which was 12 hours long. I got flagged by YouTube for one 10-second piece of music on the entire 12 hours. And they took the entire monetization of the video, the 12-hour video, for just 10 seconds of music. And so I said, fuck that. No, I'm not doing that. So I removed the sound completely. And now it's back, the monetization to me. So now they have those options. You can mute certain sections of the stream if it gets flagged. So I'll do that if that's the case. And that's why I always avoid putting music, because it's always such a hard problem on YouTube, on Twitch as well. Okay, so let me, I just think it's so unfair if they are going to take the full monetization of something for 10 seconds on a 12-hour video. It's just
If you want to
preposterous.
pause the video, by all means, yeah.
I know what you mean, because it's quite... I'm getting warnings from Twitch of the bitrate getting a bit lost, because I think he's going a bit berserk with such a fast-paced video.
Gotcha.
So, tell me something here. So, what are we watching here? This showreel is your, what, commercial showreel you have on your website? Or is it something you're sending out? Like, what's going on with this showreel?
This one is one I'm sending out. This is the one that gets me work. Yeah, it's mainly a showcase, so it's more a generalistic showcase.
I see. And so what's your objective with this call? Because obviously this is a lot of shots here that are editing really, and some of them are motion graphics and some of them are simple effects. What do you want to talk to me about? Like, because this is of course a very different type of showreel that we usually get on the show, which is great. It's great. We've gotten a few of these in the past, but yeah.
There are some shots in there that were CG and compositing that I would love for you to check out.
Okay.
In general, if you gave me a good vibe of the reel, that part I wanted to make sure of. Yeah, there are some VFX shots within the reel that I would love for you to give me your opinion on.
So general, you know, like if you ask me as a general thing, the whole thing as a whole, the showreel is a bit too frenetic, and I think that's the purpose. But I feel like for you getting VFX work, it's not a very good showreel for that. Like, too fast, too high tempo, because usually there's a difference between a commercial showreel that you post on your website, which is synced with music, and then there's a showreel which you send out for a visual effects company to get a job. The second one, the one that you try to get a job with, that one usually doesn't even need to have a rhythm song attached to it, you know, like, so normally it doesn't really matter the music, because 9 out of 10 people, recruiters and VFX supervisors mute the showreel. And so because they watch hundreds of them, they cannot watch any more music, you know. And so what I understand, I used to do that as well. When I get showreels on my company, I mute them as well. So the music is not important. The rhythm of the music being synced with the sound, with the image, is not important at all, and it's too fast. Your showreel is only a minute long, and you have like hundreds of shots. And so, what you're looking for on a showreel that you're trying to get a job from, like if you're trying to get a compositing job or a CG job or a job that has related to visual effects, the showreel should be quite slow-paced so that they can see shot by shot, and they see a breakdown, and they see what you've done. And so normally a shot, you know, if a showreel is a minute long, you probably would have 5 shots on the showreel or something. So it could be up to 2 minutes. Like I think that's the limit that you can really do as a 2-minute showreel. But just consider that, having an edit that would just be to get you a job, and not having the editorial stuff on the middle. Now, if you're trying to get a job as an editor, then that's a different thing. Then by all means send this, you know, because that's the one to get a job as an editor. But to get jobs as visual effects, I think you should consider making a brand new showreel just for that, you know.
Perfect. No, yeah, that's the type of stuff that didn't cross my head. Yeah, no, thank you.
Exactly. So let's then go through shot by shot. So, okay, so all good, says your name, that's all good, says what you do, that's all perfect. I like your little intro, that's cool. And so tell me, how's it go? Like, I don't know which ones are the ones with the heavy... Is this a VFX shot, for example? Did you put fog in it or something?
No, I'll let you know. You can press play and then I'll let you know which ones are going to be the...
So these are all editorial. That's all editorial, I'm assuming. That's editorial. This is probably a VFX shot, this first one with the...
Yes, that's a transition, yeah.
Yeah. So this as a VFX shot, this looks really nice. I think you did a good job. The only thing I would say is that as the, you know, if this was like a more advanced VFX shot, it would have been nice if the surface of whatever is melting or breaking here would affect more the image that is there, you know. So as it wrinkles in and rounds itself in, it would have been nice if it would have deformed and moved as well. So it's almost like
something like bending the face of the first
Yeah.
guy more, like as that paper goes up.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly it. So I think that would be nice if that would have been in. It would have bring more realistic and realism into the scene. But overall, I think you did a good job, and I think it's quite nice. And then it reveals a shot inside of it. So it's a quite simple VFX shot. Like, it's not a really complex VFX shot, and it's not the type of VFX shot that normally you see in a film or in a commercial. But on the other hand, it's a more to the motion graphic side than the VFX side. But having said that, I've seen things like this in films, so that's also sometimes that happens. So anything you can do to make it more realistic. Then the other thing as well is, I think you should have a bit more definition between, from a VFX, if this was supposed to be more realistic, I think this is too transparent. You see, like when this section rotates and it starts curling in the little pieces of paper, you already see the image behind, and it's almost like this should still be opaque because this is the other side of the paper. So this is the other side of the paper, so you shouldn't be seeing the image on this part. You should only be seeing it inside of it. So it's almost like your curling up is too transparent. So you know what I mean? Because the paper would be burned. So when in burned paper usually becomes black, it loses all reflection. And so you would never get anything inside of it,
Gotcha, yeah. I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Quick note to someone, Valor Visuals on the chat on YouTube is asking, how do I submit the reel? So the submission of the reel, all of the links can be found every time I do these videos. There's a description text on the bottom of the video. You just go there and there's links there. You can submit, you can book. Having said that, I did say this on the beginning of the showreel review. I'm fully booked already until the end of the year, so I don't have any more slots until the end of the year. We're still doing 5 more showreel reviews and they're all fully booked already. But feel free to email me. Maybe I could put you on a waiting list or something, because sometimes people cancel, so that happens a lot. And then I'm like struggling to try to find someone last minute. That happens almost every week. So okay, cool. So that would be what I would tell you to do, to make it as realistic as possible. And then I open up, and then I guess this is not VFX, and then this is just editing. This is VFX, right? The water thing.
Yes, sir. The underwater shot is VFX.
So is it that she's supposed to be underwater? Is that the idea?
So this was actually for a the cosmetic surgery place site that it was supposed to be. The name of the site is called 5 Elements Surgery and Aesthetics and that. So one of the aspects was she was the water element, and so that's why they went with underwater. She was feeling like underwater.
I see. Okay, so here's the thing. So for this to look, well, first of all, there's some kind of really strange flicker going on. As you can see, like, if I go frame by frame, you see very pixelated, then it's sharp, and then it goes pixelated again, and then it goes sharp again, and then it gets pixelated again, and it goes... So there's some kind of wrong thing on the encoding or something. So this, I'm kind of like every 3 frames, it gets pixelated. So
holy cow!
I'm not sure what that's going on. Like, it happens on the first frame, and then 1, 2, so 2 frames pixelated, and then 1, 2 frames correct, and then 2 frames pixelated, and then 2 frames correct. It looks to me like your encoding of this shot has some kind of keyframed every 2 frames of quality setting. So just look into that, because that's something going on here which is weird. Like, there's something wrong there.
Gotcha.
So then, in regards to the water thing, and also, by the way, like, while that happens, also there's a depth of field effect that you see. You don't have a depth of field when she's sharp. There's no depth of field, and then when there's the glitch, there is depth of field. So there's something going on here that is producing these awkward in frame in outs of depth of field.
I think I might have just, because I remember the blur, I think I might have just made a mistake with how the adjustment layer for her
Could be.
blurring might have
Yeah.
been messed
Yeah,
up.
maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Because you can kind of see that's happening also on her makeup as well and on definition. So, okay, so having said that, in terms of making it underwater, there's like quite a few things missing, I feel. Like, first of all, she needs to be more water is usually very dense, and you can see that on the background here. You see the lack of saturation on the back there. It becomes almost merged into the water, and so she also needs to be more in the water. So, and to make that trick happen, I think the best way would be for you to have some kind of water displacement coming in front, so that you would feel that there would be a layer of water in top of her. So the trick could be having a very subtle displacement going on. That would be part one. The other trick could be to have a few bubbles floating around. That could also help, because then it would feel like she was actually in the water. Normally, if people are in the water, by the way, they usually have little bubbles of hair coming out of their nose and coming out of their mouth, and maybe even having some air bubbles floating through the surface of the water as well. And any kind of dense, like usually water is not clean completely, so there's always there's always stuff floating around, and so I'm missing stuff that would be floating in the water, and it doesn't need to be anything. Even you see these little white dots that you have around her head or face, this kind of stuff, just stuff of the water, would just be flowing through the shot. I think that would help to make it more underwater. Those would be the things I would tell you to do. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. And then next shot here. So she is being vanished in a particle system. So is this like After Effects or is it 3D?
After Effects, yes, sir.
After Effects. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So one thing I would say is that there's no the breakup is too quick. You see. She's almost like on this first frame she's almost perfect, and then all of a sudden on the next frame she's already all shattered, and it's quite slow. I think it needs to have it shouldn't go from frame 1 to frame 2 so quickly. You need to have a bit more animation keyframes in the middle of that. Having said that, I think you did a good job with the displacement, although I feel like it looks like the dots and the particles are on top of her, instead of being part of her. So
you're right. I think I could have done better masking around the hair.
Yeah, because it needs to. If she's disintegrating, you shouldn't feel like that this is happening on top of her. It should feel like she is actually being disintegrated. And Mikhail has a really good point. For some reason, her leg is intact. Not sure why. So she has a really good leg, and the leg will never be disconstructed. So it's almost like, what it looks like to me. It looks almost like the where she's sitting. This leaf. This is a leaf, isn't it? It almost feels like the leaf is disintegrating and not her. And I know that you've done the hair and the arms, but then you see I'm missing this leg should disintegrate as well, and her face should start disintegrating before as well, because it's too visible. So that would be the things that I would try to do. Maybe fiddle around with the After Effects settings and see if you can get that to work a bit better. Okay, then this shot here, this is just a motion graphic that you placed on top of a piece of footage, right?
Yes, the next shot, actually, yeah, that one was very simple. It doesn't really have anything complex. The next shot, though, the one with the bat, that one actually is, the room is completely CG, and then I motion tracked the bat on top. That was for a lyric video for His Legend.
I see. Okay, this is looking cool. It's a very stylized shot, so I don't really have any notes in terms of making it photoreal or making it more realistic. I mean, I guess if anything, I would say that it does feel odd to me that this bat, whatever this bat is reflecting so much on the floor, but it looks to me like these walls are a bit more immune to that reflection. I feel like this is such a
That's
bright...
a really good point. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, so it's such a bright object that I think it should fill the room more with light, especially because the floor is so reflective. And also maybe play around with trying to get some more diffuse glow going on. Maybe some kind of like glaring effect, because I think it would look better. And also, I think in terms of grading, it's too crushed. I think you've crushed too much the blacks. It's too contrasted. And so with that, I think you lost too much detail on this side and lost too much detail on the wall as well. I feel like, I feel it should work. And another point here as well, which Mikael had exactly at the same time as I was just thinking, the bat is shaking, but the reflection isn't. So there's also that thing that you should probably consider making it shaking as well, So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Cool. So, okay, then we have this dude with his eyes. This is a quite cool effect, although there's a lot of chromatic aberration going on. The only thing I would say is if the intuit was to just do a graphical motion graphic type of thing, then it's fine. But if it was supposed to be a bit more realistic, I feel like the edges of the eyes should be a bit sharper, and then this thing would be still covered by the eyes themselves. So instead of having so much blur around, so much edge blur going on around the eye, it's almost like you should have rotoscoped the actual eye covering so that this is inside the eye. Because right now it just looks like it's superimposed. It needs to be... You basically need to cut the bottom eyelid here and then the top eyelid here, so it looks like it's on top and not just being semi-transparent,
Okay. Amazing. Yeah, I understand.
Cool. And so then this is just text, and then this is also some text. This is also some text. I really don't have anything to say about these things.
That one right there, the 10-year Hawks model volleyball, has a fluid simulation on it.
Ah, cool. Yeah, the one coming across. Yeah, I think it looks good. What is it exactly like? Is it supposed to affect? Yeah.
It's a festival for volleyball. They were celebrating 10 years, and I just wanted to make the shot a special since it's on the beach. I wanted that water bending look for the shot.
So is the water that you've made the simulation, is it supposed to also like touch the letters, or is it just supposed to be on top of everything? Is that what is the idea there?
I'm just noticing the clipping on the K. Holy cow. Yeah, the idea was for it to go through the words.
Through the words, okay, I see. Yeah, you have like, you're right, like there's a lot of holes going on. There's something here that is on top of the K for some reason. If you want to make it go through the words, then you need to get the water to actually, I think this is too thin. It's too little water. I almost feel like you should put more water so it actually goes through the Miami and the volleyball as well, and it goes through the rest of the stuff as well. But I do think, if they were happy, then they're happy, like there's nothing really you can say.
Oh, yeah, no. They were through with the shot at the end of the day.
Exactly. And you have a nice displacement going on top of it as well. So this is nice as well. Okay, so then the wedding shots, these are just like text tracked in, so really not having to say. They float a little bit, but they're not really tracked very well. But it's just motion graphics. It's not really the kind of thing that people usually have perfectly tracked, And then that's just tracked in. And then you have
American Airlines card. Yeah.
Yeah. So that you did the CG for that, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that looks good. I think it looks nice. If anything, if you want to make this more fancy in the future when you do things like this, maybe consider having some kind of reflection passing through. So when it's rotating all around here, you would pick up some highlights of somewhere, like if it was on a studio or something, it would pick up some highlights. And is this like actually done in CG, or is it done in After Effects again? Or did you actually do it on a CG?
That actually was done in CG.
Okay, so what application did you use?
Cinema 4D. I was studying in college.
So for this, whenever you see these kind of commercials, there's always like some fancy reflection. So, and especially not at the end, of course, at the end it would be as it is, but was it rotating? It would have been nice if you would have set up an HDR of a studio with some floodlights and some lamps, and then it
an
would,
HDR effect, the
yeah, and then
reflection on the card actually shows.
yeah, you get some lights passing through the card and everything. That I think that would have worked really well, you know. So it would have given it a little bit, but that's a really nice, like a small touch. I think you did a good job. So there's not much I can say about that.
Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, so let's just see here. Okay, so it goes through there. Okay, and then these are just an editorial thing. This is, yeah. So you've comped in the screen there, didn't you?
Oh, I made a composition inside of what was going. That and it's not a screen recording. The shot right before that was actually done in After. That is done in After. Yeah.
Yeah, that's done in After Effects. Okay, cool. You mean like what? Like you mean like putting this person?
That one right there. Yeah, that little shot right there. Yeah.
I see. So this is a photo, or is it like someone you shot on a green screen or something?
No. Oh, no. I meant the very next shot. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So this shot here, that one.
Yeah, that was just a composition I did in After Effects.
Okay, I see.
For the phone.
I see. Okay, cool. And then this one here, the phone, you've made the phone replacement, wasn't it?
Yes, a screen replacement on that one. Yes, sir.
But the background is also comped, isn't it?
No, it's not. That's the original shot.
That's the original shot. Okay. Really like huge depth of field that they put in there. So I think you did a good job with the reflections being integrated as well, and you did a good job with the integration of the phone as well. The only thing I would say is that maybe this is just the way she's. I don't think it's your problem. I think she's holding this with really a lot of strength, isn't it? Because you see the rubber is bending. It's just like crazy how this is bending. The actual
that might have
cover.
been the direction.
she's like really going for it. Yeah. Now, one thing that I would say is that she looks a bit overexposed, and there's not a lot of overexposure going on the phone. So there's like a bit of a discrepancy between the amount of light that her hands have and the amount of light that this phone is catching. Although phones could be dimmed, of course, so this maybe is a dimmed phone. That's probably it. So that could be.
The hands are definitely a little too hot. That I agree.
Yeah, exactly. Now, when you do this is a typical problem in After Effects. Try to up the sample so that you have a smoother. This would be, if this is After Effects, it would be change on the shutters of the project settings, so that you have more shutters between the motion blur. It will be slower to render, but you only need a few more, because right now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see, there's probably like 25 or something. So if you probably put it to 50, you'll probably get like a better, smoother motion blur. Just try to put the amount of the shutter until you get a smooth thing, and then don't put more, because there's no point if you're processing for nothing, you know. Yeah, and so that's all good. There's also like some artifacts happening with some kind of speed ramp that you have, so that sometimes she has more fingers than she should have, so there's some kind of like displacement going on here. That's probably because you've slowed it down or made it faster or something. There's some ghosting. Yeah, so there's some interpolation that makes her having more fingers than she should have. So maybe look into that.
Gotcha. Holy cow.
Okay, and then is this CG as well, or just pack shots?
No, those were actually shot. That's just smart composition in After Effects.
I see.
But not that one. But there will be another bottle shot that is made CG.
I see. Okay. Mm-hmm. One little note that I would tell you, like not that it maybe you guys wanted that, but it is a bit strange that this is on a pink background, an environment, and then you can see a full room with windows and everything. So it is a bit peculiar that we are seeing a room.
Reflection on the glass, yeah.
Yeah, we see also like whoever is shooting it. We see the table. We shoot the whole thing. So Not that maybe that doesn't matter, but I'm just like wondering if that's something that this would you would have to fix. It
No,
doesn't happen on the other one.
I'm
So.
gonna be honest with you. I just overlooked it, and also the clients never asked for it. So.
Oh, yeah, then that's fine. Okay, so then we have some effects here. There's not really much to say. This is just like a blend here that you've made. Oh, you see, this shot has the same problem with the pixels. You see that? You also have pixelated, and then it stops being pixelated, and then it continues being. So there's some kind of. You see, that frame is not pixelated, but then this one is. So there's some kind of compression artifact happening on these shots for sure.
Gotcha.
Okay, so then these shots here, really simple comps, and then you have
that one right there.
Yeah. There's really not much to say. The only thing I would tell you is that as this opens up, it doesn't make a lot of sense to have, are these like photos of the cans that you've comped in? Is that what you've done here?
They're photos of the cans I comped in. Yes,
yeah, so there's sometimes some kind of problem here because you see a dark edge on the cans. You shouldn't be seeing a dark edge. It should be darker, brighter because the can is behind. So there's some kind of pre-multiplication mask going on here. And when they stop, you see how sharp that can is? You see there's depth of field. You see the depth of field very sharp on the tequila eye, and then the S is still sharp, but then it becomes more and more and more defocused. And your edge
now that I remember, those are actually not exactly images. If you look, the pineapple is rotating. They're the shots put together for it. But yes, you're absolutely right with the depth of field to actually make it match.
Yeah, I think you should have edge blurred these edges so that it would look like it was still part of that. You know, I think it would would work really well. Yeah, and then they move. Let's see here, and then this is CG as well, right?
That is a CG title, yes, sir.
Yeah, looks really nice. Did you do it Cinema 4D as well?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it looks nice. Then you have some motion graphics attached to the thing, and then we have some. So that's some titles.
The next effect worth looking at is the lady vanishing later on.
This one, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this effect here, it depends on what you're trying to accomplish, but at the moment, she looks like she's being sucked into the shot, but she's being sucked in as a scaling thing, so it's almost like she's becoming smaller. Depends on what you're trying to achieve. If you're trying to achieve her being transformed to particles and then being sucked in, then she shouldn't scale down because she becomes smaller, you know, like her face and head becomes smaller. It's almost like she should maintain her size, but then the particles disintegrate and then the particles are being sucked. And not, I don't think she should be reducing in size, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Also, I think you went a bit too fast. I feel like, if anything, I think you should give it more time for the particles to disintegrate, and then they get swooped in. I kind of feel like it went all a bit fast, to a point that you can hardly understand what's going on, you know. It's just a bit too quick for me, for my taste at least.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then these particles... Yeah, go for it.
That is fake snow in Miami, yeah.
Yeah. So the problem with this is that the snow that you have here doesn't really look like it's actually on this image, because this is a really wide shot. And so if it was snowing, what you would see is like you have like pieces of snow that would be larger flying through, but they should have more, there should be more thin particles on the back here. So it's like there's some that are bigger on the front, but then you should still see thinner and thinner and thinner until they kind of disappear. It's almost like the snow, it's too little and there's not enough of them. And also the perspective is kind of wrong, because this is a camera view from above, and so the snow would be going down, kind of like it wouldn't be floating like it is floating right now, you know.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then anything?
That's it. That's a closer.
Sorry? That's it?
That's
Okay,
it.
cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
it loops in.
Cool. Just to answer a quick question about Render Shack on Twitch, can I submit a Showreels for Today review? No, you cannot. No, I'm so sorry, but we do the reviews pre-booked on advance, so a lot of people pre-book like months in advance to get the review. So you just need to watch the links on the description of this video, and when the next opening on the, because it's a booking system, so you have to book the appointment beforehand. Some people have booked like already the showreel for December, so it's like you need to like keep an eye on the booking. Right now I'm fully booked until the end of the year, so but keep contacting me, and maybe if there's, I can put you on the waiting list or something, Render Shack, because there are some people that give up, and so I couldn't put you on the on the waiting list. So just message me or something. Okay, so Julian, tell me things like, what else would you like to know? Was this helpful, or how is it?
This was incredibly helpful, especially. I mean, I do gotta admit that this reel is a little bit old. It's a year and a half old, and
Yeah.
while I'm working on the new one.
Yeah.
So I have gotten better with my compositing, but I did not have the eye of the breakdown that you just gave me. It is insane. Thank you.
Well, not a problem, not a problem. You know, like it's a matter of when they're reviewing showreels, it's just a matter of attention to. You just have to be more, go frame by frame, check things. You know, that's the only way that you do that, and then you start developing an eye for it. I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been watching showreels for such a long time that I can already pick apart quite quickly the things, but it's a matter of really getting used to it. But I hope that helped. And I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, because there's no point of us continuing to
That
watch.
helped a ton, and I'm definitely gonna book for the next review when you're available for the proper new one with, like you said, the slower pacing, the
Yeah.
breakdown of the shot.
Yeah, consider
All of
that.
that.
Consider making like a slower paced showreel, and I think that would be beneficial for you to try to, if you really want to start having more visual effects shots, because right now your showreel is too. The word would be, it's too messy, it's too full of things, and it will be very distracting for a recruitment person on a company to even consider you for a job, because it's too much things, it's too much stuff, you know. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Cool, man. No problem. Yeah, you're always welcome. Just contact me as well if you want. You have my email now. And if there's no bookings available on the link, just contact me. I'll put you on the waiting list. Like I said, almost every time I do this review, showreel reviews, there's someone that bails out, and then I have to like try to find the person to replace.
Happening?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that happens a lot of times.
Thank you so much for your time, man.
No problem, no problem. Have a great day, Julian. And again, so
You too,
sorry
man.
for the wait. I'm so sorry for the wait.
No worries. All right, goodbye.
Okay, see you later. Bye. Okay, cool. Excellent. And we're done. Look at that. We're done. Thank you so much, everyone, for still sticking around. So we are going to do the giveaway. And, of course, I did not forget you, Studio, about your question earlier on. About the question about, while we're doing the giveaway, which I'm going to put on the screen now. Sorry, I'm going to put on the screen now. So the giveaway is, the link is there. That's the giveaway for my course, remember? And my course is also currently 50% off as well. So don't forget that. So if you want, I'll put the link of the I've just made the link there for the course giveaway, which I'm giving away. Even if you're a student, I'll give you away the workshops for free. Or I can also give you the other course that I have next year, which is the Onset Supervision course. So just by all means, go for it. So yeah, so that's the link. So if you're interested on my course, 50% off. The bundle is even cheaper than 50%. So if you buy the bundle, is a really good deal because you get a lot more than 50% from the bundle. So there's the two links. As well, I'm gonna put in the link as well of my wife's book as well, if you're interested on supporting small creators like us. And now, of course, I'll just put in this one here. So that's the QR code for the giveaway we're going to do. And while we're waiting for people to sign up, because I think that we are, let's see how many people have signed up. Let's see here. We have, 60 people that signed up to the giveaway. So here's a quick question for both Twitch and both YouTube. Have you, apart from the pre-roll ads, because I know the pre-roll ads I cannot remove, because I think Twitch puts them automatically, and the only way for you not to have pre-roll is if you become a subscriber of the channel. So, but apart from that, has anyone experienced a commercial or a ad break during the stream? Because I remember I switched off the ads on both streams. The reason I did that was because people were complaining last time, and I showed during the stream that I got a whopping 75 cents for the ad breaks last time. And so it's not worth it, the 75 cents I get for the ads, to be bothering people. So I've removed it. And so I just want everyone to let me know if they've seen any ads, because I took them out. And because I couldn't, they can pick their 75 cents and put them up where the sun doesn't shine. Because for me, it's just ridiculous to have like people being hammered by commercials, and then the creators get 75 cents. It's preposterous, you know. So I'm switching it off as a protest. Twitch is not going to see any more ads from me, and YouTube is not going to see more ads from me during the stream. So that's the thing. So of course, pre-roll still is there, and once I put it as a VOD, once I put it as a recording, then it will have ads, obviously. But that's different. During the live show, I really feel that the ads are really counterproductive, because people are watching something and then it gets interrupted. I just don't like that at all. You mean London? Yes. Well, it is sunny today here. So anyway, I'm glad to read that people say that there's no ads right now. So that's really good. Okay. So going back to the questions of Studio Divis about James Cameron being part of a very prominent AI company, and I'm still waiting for people to sign up to the giveaway. So feel free to, I'll give it like 5 minutes for people to sign up, and I'll take the opportunity to do my little quick rant about that. So I am reluctant of giving a rant about what happened with James Cameron. I'll explain why with Stability AI. So I really respect James Cameron, and I think James Cameron is an amazing artist, an amazing director, and he's been on the cusp of every visual effects revolution since the beginning. And so there must be a reason for him, and apart from money, of course, I'm sure that he's getting well paid, but there must be I want to live in a world that I feel that there must be a reason for him to want to be joining that thing, including all the stink that it produces from social media of people being so angry at him. Because James Cameron doesn't want people to be angry at him, of course, because he's a director and he has a lot of films coming out. I hope, that's my dream at least, I hope that there's something around this where he's actually coming into this company and he's producing and bringing in some creative feedback and some constructive feedback to make these companies more aware that they have to license artists and that they have to spread the wealth with the other artists. I'm at least I want to live in a world where I feel that maybe James Cameron wants to try to bring that into the company, so that this company becomes a bit more sensible about how AI is treated, and especially, it becomes, not, certain companies are definitely not caring, and I feel like maybe perhaps with him being present on the board, I don't know, I want to believe that maybe it becomes a bit more grounded, and it becomes, what's the word? I'm just missing the word here, really. The word is, I forgot the word. How is that even possible? The word is ethical sourced AI. I'm hoping that maybe him joining is because he wants to bring some kind of ethical component to AI. I really want to believe this. Really, really want to believe this. And I hope that's the case. I know James Cameron is not listening to this stream. Of course not. He has better things to do. But if he was listening, I hope that that's the reason that he's doing it. Because I want to believe that there's some kind of light around the tunnel. So, in my view, also the other side of this is that I understand why he's doing it. Because I said this on my video last time, and when we talked about AI. AI is not going anywhere. There's no way this thing is going to go away. It's too late now. The box has been open. Pandora's box has been open. And so it's not going to go away, especially because it's profitable. And so whenever you have something profitable, forget about it. It's never going to go away. And so if it's never going to go away, that means really that we need to deal with it. And so I feel that James Cameron is trying to deal with it because we are not going to live in a world without AI in the future. It's not going to go away. It's going to definitely replace jobs. It's going to definitely alter the fabric of the industry forever. And also, it's going to bring the rates down and we're going to get less paid because there will be so much more people. I keep giving this example. There was a time when I was much younger where I would record, when I was really young, when I was still 18, 19, I would film weddings with my equipment because I needed to pay my equipment and I wanted to pay and get some money back. And I would get well paid for that, for filming weddings. Obviously, with time, more and more people got cameras. Cameras dropped the price and then became more and more people making weddings. And of course, the price that I was selling to record the wedding, I had to change my price because otherwise I would be out of the job. I think that's what we need to start expecting. Because of AI, it's going to be exponential. We're going to have so many more artists and so many people, even people that were not artists, doing CG and visual effects, that obviously it's almost going to be like what happened, which is tragic, but it's the same thing that happened with the Apple Store, with the apps of phones. In the beginning, we used to buy an app for $10. I remember in 2005 that I would buy a game for $10 on the App Store. I would buy a game for $5, $7. And then a couple of years later, it was like $3, $2, $1. And then it became 50 cents and 2 cents and 5 cents. And sooner or later, the games are free now. And the games are free, and that has brought the margins lower and lower and lower and smaller and smaller and smaller. So to break even, companies have to sell a lot more, and they have to try to put microtransactions and other things. And so the industry is going to change forever, and our rates are going to be affected by that. We're going to get less money, but we're also going to produce more money, more work. And so we have to start getting used to this microtransaction environment where we're getting less payment, but we're getting more things, So it maybe if we're lucky, it kind of evens out. So that's my take about James Cameron joining Stability AI. I don't think it's cool. I am a bit sad that he's doing that, but I want to live in a world that there is a reason for him to do that. And maybe the reason is the one I'm just mentioning. Trying to search for an ethical solution and maybe trying to build a better industry in the future. That's at least my view on it, Studio. I hope that's beneficial for your answering, Studio Davis. I hope that helped your answer. Hopefully that I hope so. Let's see what you guys say. Let's see here. Mikhail, he's doing an inside job destroying AI art industry from the inside. Maybe that would be cool. Terminator lore evolves. Skynet is inevitable. Yes. Rex says, I hope he will bring a good guidance into the development, having in mind his fellow filmmakers and visual effects artists. He knows what Post is doing to elevate his visions. Does he respect labor and craft? I do believe so. I want to believe that. And I do believe that the word here is ethical development of AI. I really hope that he is the person that could maybe bring some levity into this conversation. You know, so I think that could be it. Just like Tarantino is a connoisseur of old school model making and practical visual effects. Absolutely. So and Nikki on Twitch says, we all need to learn about using AI and using ethical LLM and creating our own SLMs. Yes, absolutely. I could not agree more with Nikki. This is not going to go away, folks. Like, we need to be on top of machine learning. We need to be on top of the copycat tools on Nuke. We need to be on top of the neural network visual effects driven tools on DaVinci. All the neural network happening on Flame, on all these applications that are actually working on machine learning tools for us. We need to be on top of it, and then we need to investigate all of the other ones. I can tell you already right now that as soon as James Cameron said that he was going to be part of that board, the first thing I did was I signed up to the application, to Stability AI. I made an account, a free account, and I'm experimenting with it because immediately it produced an interest from me to just try out and test. And I hope it goes through an ethical process. I really do. And also I hope that in the future we have companies that are more realistic with the energy consumption that this entire thing is making. Because the problem with AI and machine learning right now is that it's making these companies spend 10 times more electricity. Not a lot of that is spoken on the web, but if you research this and go to certain articles of reputable newspapers, you'll see that there is a lot of hiding of numbers. And right now, the computer power, the servers, and the GPUs that are producing all this AI nonsense is producing 10 times more electricity costs than we were doing before. And so, in a way, not only the ethical side of things have to be introduced, but also the climate change side of it. And I'm hoping that James Cameron is the person that does that, because James Cameron is such an openly climate change advocate, and his films are all about ecology, and his films are all about the nature and preserving the life and preserving the world. So maybe people should give him a chance, because I feel like maybe that's the thing. Maybe there's something else that we are not aware that might happen in the middle of all this. Don't get me wrong. I don't like AI. I don't think we need AI. I never thought we had too many artists. And so, in fact, I don't know why we're trying to replace artists with AI. I have no idea where this has started. I never, ever in a million years thought that, oh, I know what we need. We need AI tools to get more art done. I never for a million years thought this was a problem. I thought that AI could solve cancer. It could solve climate change. It could solve development of health. It could solve so many, and also it could solve rotoscoping for us. It could solve UV enwrapping. It could solve all those things that we hate. But no, we went the other way around. For some reason, some of these hacks on AI companies wanted to be artists, and so they've made the tool that replaces artists completely. We'll see what happens. We'll see when the dust settles. I think some of these companies are going to go bankrupt, and they're going to go away, and then something will come out of it. And so I am sad about what's happening, but in a way, I could be sad, but I also have to understand that it's not going to go away. There's nothing I can do about it. And I just have to navigate this like everyone else is navigating. That would be my thing, you know. Studio saying, waiting for Hugo's AI for VFX artist course. No, I don't think that will happen. I'm not an AI specialist at all. I'm an old-fashioned artist. I prefer the old-fashioned techniques. I don't believe I will ever be very proficient at those kind of things because they're not my kind of thing, you know. So I don't know. Like, we'll see how it works. Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm going to shut up now. I wanted to let you know that I've decided to bring back the radio show so that we can talk about more of those topics. And so before we do the giveaway, I just wanted to let you know that next week we're doing the disconstruction of the Zeiss commercial on Friday. And I'll be joined by Bjorn. Bjorn will be with me here disconstructing the shot. And then the week after that, which is the 17th of October, that's the date that I will bring back the radio show. And so on the 17th of October, we're going to bring back the radio show. People can call in and we can talk about all of this bullshit. And then I will try to find a slot for the radio show to happen every month. That would be the idea. My plan is for it to become a forum for all of us to talk. So it's going to be like an open forum, like a city hall kind of radio show where people can call in, we can talk with people, and we can kind of discuss all these topics together. That's my idea. So expect it to come back on the 17th of October. I'll be announcing it on social media, so don't worry. Everyone can come over. But next week will be the Disconstruction, which is already pre-booked, and so Bjorn will be joining us, and we'll go through his roto debacle there, and he can explain himself what he was doing. Okay, so let's do the giveaway. Because this stream has been going for a long time. It's been like 3 hours. So I'm going to do the draw here. We had 60 something people. Okay, so let's see if we can get the winner here. So, okay, so the winner, I hope they're here. So the winner of the Nuke course is... Okay, so let's see here. So the name would finish there. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So winner is Hank Sheng. That would be the name of the winner. Hopefully they're here. Hi, you're happy about that, Nikki? That's great. And again, I can't thank enough, Mikhail, for giving 10 subscriptions on Twitch. Thank you so much for that. Really helps a lot. And also thank you so much, PixShaper, for becoming a Prime subscribed. Remember, if you want to support my channel, I've removed the ads now, so if you want to support the channel, if you have a subscription on Prime, it is free for you to subscribe to my channel. And you don't pay anything more, but I get some money from from Amazon. So, okay, so Ank is here. Congratulations, Ank. Congratulations, you just won the Nuke course. Hopefully you're not my student. And if you're not my student, then you would get the Nuke course. I'll give it to you in a couple of days. So congratulations, my friend. So we'll be back next week. Next week we'll be back with more Disconstructions. Remember that on Friday, because it's a Foundry sponsored stream, we will be back with a Nuke Indie license that is given away by the Foundry, and I will have another Nuke course to give away as well. I hope you've enjoyed. I really enjoyed this session. I know it was a bit long. I am sorry about that, but really was really enjoyable. Really enjoyed talking about AI at the end as well. And yeah, I mean, I'll see you all next week. And have a great day, great time. And yeah, I'll see you all later. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Have a great day. Goodbye.